This week on Habari Live.
Interview with Bob.
Oh, sorry.
You pull in the
Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmi, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Yo, good morning. We are thrilled to bring you another episode of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the pulse of Phoenix and beyond. Like always, we are all the way live from Paradise Valley. I'm Damon Dipleen Ellison, your co-host. I'm with
Iesha.
Jimmi sounds so pumped like always.
I sounded just
No, you didn't.
her.
Iesha.
Hey, what's up with you?
Hey, Petra. Come on in.
Today will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community. We have a couple of great guests in today. We have Lonee Appleton and Petra Sherwin-Fox, the owners of Haus of Soul and which is dedicated to amplifying Black culture. And what's the name of your business? Because I forgot.
I don't necessarily have a business, but
Okay.
I am a healthy family advocate, and I am located at LoneeLifestyle.com. But
Okay.
I'm just an advocate. I'm out here getting it popping for the community.
But you would call yourself a public speaker or
Public speaker, coach, content creator. Just like I said, I'm out here just waking people up, shaking things up.
Can
Yeah.
you share with us the inspiration behind your book? What's the best that can happen?
All right. So in 2013, what we call now downloading. Back then it was channeling. I think download is more palatable for us, but I channeled that book. God came to me. I'm a spiritual being, so I reference God often, but God came to me and was like, you need to wake up and start sharing your business.
Okay.
Honestly, it was crazy because Spirit was like, just start sharing your business. And I was like, you want me to tell everything? And Spirit was like, tell everything. And so in that awakening, I downloaded that book, and that really is detailing all the steps that it took for me to wake myself up. So the shadow work before it had a name, the mirror work before it had a name.
Okay.
All the things that everybody's doing is popularized now. I did it in 2013, and it really helped me disconnect from this present, lower vibrational reality. And it helped me really start elevating my consciousness.
Okay. That's always the best. That's for a person who's trying to move forward with their
the
life.
best that can happen.
Sometimes, right, you get caught up in what's going on social media and what's going on in your life in high school, and you have to sometimes remove yourself from those situations where you can really appreciate what you are and what you bring to the party. And some people, you get caught up in what everyone else is doing. You have to just focus on yourself.
Exactly.
And I like that what you're bringing to the table, and what's the best that can happen instead of looking at what's the worst that can happen.
Yes, best possible outcomes.
Yeah, man. It's like the guy was on here last week and he was talking about saying yes. You know what I mean? Instead of being a no person, being a yes person, saying, yeah, man, I'm going to do that. Let's do it. Because you always, when you're cutting off opportunities and you're cutting off situations where people who could teach you something, and you don't want to listen because you think you know everything. Especially as a teenager,
Heck yeah.
we know everything, and no one can tell us anything. So we all been there.
Yes. I went through a phase of a year of yes after reading the book. Can't think of the author right now, but thank you, Shonda Rhimes. Yes. I did my own version of Year Yes, and it was miserable.
Yeah.
Because I was saying yes to everything, and I'm a mother, so everything my children asked. My kids had me trailing behind them in the mall. They had me at the park chaperoning stuff because I'm like, yes, 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 yes. So something that I learned in saying yes, you also have to say yes to yourself. So serve yourself first.
Right.
in that, yes. So I can show up for you, but here's the capacity that I can show up for you. That way it's not miserable. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to cut yourself off from opportunities, but also when I first did the yes thing, I was like, oh, this for the birds. It only lasted a week. It definitely wasn't a year.
You definitely have to know your boundaries.
Heck
and
yeah.
how far you can and can't go.
Exactly.
And, you know, I would take that yes thing. I wouldn't take it that far, me myself. I would just take it into business.
Yeah.
And with business situations and
put
opportunities.
Some parameters
there
on.
You go. Yeah, because there's some things I'm definitely going to be like, nah.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm straight, bro.
Yeah.
So the book promises intentional healing and shadow work and meditation. Could you elaborate on the key practices or techniques readers can expect to encounter?
Well, something that I really enjoyed, which was the now known as shadow work, and I don't know if the methodology, I think it's personal, right?
Can you explain what shadow work is?
I'm gonna get into it, buddy.
Okay.
But the methodology is different for everybody, right? But for me, for the book, and to your question, it's asking the question why. It's digging down to the root.
Okay.
So it's saying, okay, I have control issues.
Okay.
Why, where did that root from?
Right.
So why do I believe that I'm controlling? And now that I'm asking myself, that's going to give me another answer. So it's almost like you're talking to yourself.
Okay.
So you're therapizing yourself. You're being your own therapist, and you're saying, okay, once you get that answer, you question that answer, and then you answer that question, and now you're digging deeper and digging deeper. I call it going down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
And so shadow work, of course, is going into the depths and the darkest parts of you. For me, it was going down the rabbit hole and digging as deep as you can until you got to the root. And then once you got to the root, that's the work that needs to be done. It's not that I'm controlling. Controlling is the manifestation of what needs to be taken care of underneath the surface. And as you look at control, you actually heal like 10 other things because you're digging deep. You're like, oh, boom, oh, boom, oh, boom. And then boom.
Yeah. I mean, knowing yourself is basically what you're saying here. Just to dig deep into yourself to know exactly. Like I was watching TV, and they were pushing some pill that helps you to lose weight.
Yeah.
And they were talking about some of the things that people go through when they're younger that can help them to become overweight when they're older. Yes. Some of the things your parents might have pushed on you to clean your plate, to eat all your food, to finish everything. And then those things get stuck in your brain for life.
Yes.
And you wonder, why am I like this? Well, it was put on you as a kid, and it's something you may need to change, for you can be able to have an effective way of losing weight, or just getting into it to a point like, man, this was bred into me. I didn't just start doing this. You know what I mean? This was things that was taught to me as a kid. And I just need to break those things, and I can be able to manage my weight, or be able to manage my way of making better healthy habits.
Yeah,
which is hard to do, and especially if you were not born in a family that teaches healthy habits, that teaches to eat healthy foods, because a lot of families don't do that.
But then if you want to even dig deeper than that, that's why you're saying, okay, why am I overweight? And we're thinking that it's eating habits and all these different things, but it could be, parent guilt.
Yeah,
it can be a sense of responsibility. It could be all these different things. So it's not just I'm overeating because of this. Well, no, I'm overeating because when my parents said to me to clean my plate, the shame that I felt because of that. So now we're working on shame. So that's going down the rabbit hole. And we're like, well, if I just clean up my diet, no, you got to work through that shame. You got to work through all the different things that were put on you that psychologically put you in a space where I have to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to your point, that's a beautiful example of how you can dig down from one thing, overeating, maintaining my weight.
Right.
And now you're like, dang, I got, parent issues. I got shame. I got, all these different things I got to work through.
Right.
And then the weight is the physical manifestation.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know a gentleman who he's having issues with diabetes, and he's having a hard time stopping sugar.
Yeah,
and
man,
even though
I'm
it's yeah, I mean, it's we're all hugely addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
But it's taking your life, man.
Yeah, it
you
is.
have to figure it out. And I'm thinking, just like what off of us talking right now, that he probably do have some deeper seated issues that he can't get off the sugar. You know what I mean? And it's killing him. We watched her uncle pass away. He made bad decisions, had diabetes, that he lost a leg, lost another leg. then after that he passed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I mean his body couldn't handle all these surgeries and all of these things that they're doing to him.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out, man, what is causing these issues where we can't put the sugar down, we can't put the foods down, and we see it's killing us, and we still going down that path.
All of it. And it's not just sugar, it's thought processes, it's how we speak to each other, it's the separation, the singledom instead of the collective mindset. There's so many things that's out here killing us, you know, and we're focused on the topical things, and we got to start digging deeper to save ourselves as a community and as a society. We got to look at everything that's put in place to kill us, and there are so many things to put us in place.
That's real.
Just like you said, people want to be on the podcast, but they don't even show up. They don't even see that that's a manifestation of what has been designed and created for us to stay down. And in this space that we live, this space is killing us.
Right.
This energetic vibration that we exist in is killing us. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, man. And I think that sometimes we underthink the things, and we just love to do what we love to do, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
And we can't stop doing those things because we love them so much. It makes us feel so good.
That comfortability. As long as we're comfortable, it's the frog in the pot, right? The frog doesn't know it's being boiled if you slowly raise the temperature. We are literally in if I can go here, we are literally in World War III. We just don't know it.
Right.
And so it's like, if they're slowly raising the pot on us and slowly raising the temperature on us, next thing we know, we're going to be living in shipping containers, fighting over a can of beans. And we've accepted this as our reality, when today we are in place to wake ourselves up so that we could be like, yo, this ain't it. I was talking to my husband the other night about when we were kids, when we visualize the future, it was a utopian future, right? When we were kids, it was like flying cars and the Jetsons. But now our children are manifesting and visualizing destruction and, you know, what Iraq looks like.
A dystopian future, right?
And so it's just like, yo, if all of us collectively are seeing destruction as our future, we're accepting that as our future. And so it's like, it's all by design. It's so crazy that we don't even see it because we're slowly being boiled.
Well, I mean, you know, in America, money is first, and these companies run everything.
Yeah.
And they make the decisions for too many by their products and whatever they're pushing.
Yep.
And capitalism is, you know, that's one of the bad things of capitalism, is that products being pushed and money is first.
Yep.
And physical health, mental health, those things are second.
Yeah.
And that's a problem America has. And we're seeing some of the progress go backwards that we've made as a country, because we're not making good decisions when it comes to food, and we come to some of these things. Our life expectancy is going backwards.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen in the last couple of years. People are not happy as they used to be. As I read that we went down a couple more marks as to 23rd.
Yeah.
We had United Arab Emirates is happier than we are in their country. We're not happy, man. So we need to figure out what's going on, because happiness is key. That's how a country is moves forward. If the people aren't happy, then the country is not going to move forward. You know what I mean?
By design.
That's the way it is.
It's by design.
So you mentioned that your healing process is not a one and done experience, but rather an ongoing journey. How do you guide readers through this continuous process of self-discovery and growth?
Well, in relation to the book, in any book, I have to let all readers know that you do the work, right? I've read tons of self-help books and healing books and self-discovery books. It wasn't until I sat down and I said, this is the practice that I'm going to follow.
Yeah.
And so when people are reading the book, and they need to be intentional in the book and be like, okay, truly, line by line is healing. You can read a line, you can self-reflect.
Right.
Read a line, self-reflect. Read a paragraph, self-reflect. Open the book to a page and read whatever your eyes land on and self-reflect. So the healing is continuous, because you're able to go in knowing as I read this book, I am here to heal myself. So it's all about self-intention, because you and I can read the same book. If you're reading it for pleasure and I'm reading it for healing, we're going to get something different from it.
Totally different.
So it's people taking ownership of their journey in their healing process and knowing it's not one and done. You can read my book. I read my book and I wrote it.
Right.
You know, and what I read, I'm just like, yo, okay, I could do some moves today, because perspective is constantly changing. You know what I'm saying? How I saw something before I walked into this podcast, I can see it completely different walking out of this podcast. That's my intention. You know, so healing is constantly a journey of self-discovery. How can I be the best version of myself? And the tools in the book are really just helping you wake up to the stuff that we have been dormant to. Like, yo, I didn't even know I was struggling with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what the content does on As the Apple Turns. You know, it's really just bringing up the stuff that we've pretty much quieted our brain to. Like, we just been silently ignoring it. I learned recently, and I hate to admit this as a Black American, but I recently learned that Harriet Tubman was married. Didn't know that, and that he was a free slave.
Right.
And so, not free man. Sorry, he wasn't a slave.
He was from Philadelphia, though, right? Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know the details.
That's
like,
why,
yeah,
that's why he was free, because Philadelphia at that time was a free area.
Boom. So he was a free. He was not a slave. I take that away. He was a free man. But when Harriet was like, yo, I think there's something else out there, he was like, nah, I'm good. And so it's just like, she had a vision that he couldn't see.
No. He wasn't from the past that she was from.
Yeah. And so when she went to him, it was like, yo, I think there's something else out there. He was like, no, I'm going to stay the same, because he was comfortable. So like you said earlier, as long as we got our music, as long as we got our TV, as long as we got our, you know, our comforts, then we don't really reach for nothing higher. But there's a few of us out there who are like, yo, if they let us experience this, what aren't they letting us experience? And that's what Harriet Tubman said. She's like, if they let us experience this, what aren't they letting us experience? And some of us, like her husband, would be like, I'm good. But there's some of us, like us in this room, who are like, yo, there's something more and we gonna reach for it or die trying.
Right. That's the mission.
So, you know, I think that was something that really woke me up and paralleled my life, because when I started this journey to self-discovery clearly in 2013, but most recently 2023, you know, I woke up to the fact that the way that I was raising my family was going to set. And I used to joke, you guys are going to need therapy after you leave, you know, growing up with me. I used to joke about that.
Right.
And so in 2023, I woke up to that, and I went to my husband. I was like, yo, the way we raising this family, we setting ourselves up to be the next, you know, WTF. I was like, I don't want that. And my husband was like, it's fine. So I made the parallel. I was just like, yo, babe, there's a better future out there for our family. And he's like, well, I'm comfortable.
Right.
So I made the parallel to that. I don't know what my point was, but I might have made a point there.
No, I understand completely. I mean, because sometimes you have to drag people along. Sometimes people are not ready for change.
Not at all.
And sometimes you have to break down the door for them, for them to be able to see exactly what you're seeing.
We deserve it.
Yeah, man. And everybody's not going to see the same things that you see. It's just inevitable. It's life.
Yeah.
But to get the ones that we care about to see those things is important. It's very important, imperative to us. So for readers who may be new to healing and self-discovery, what device of encouragement would you offer as they embark on their own journey of self-discovery?
The biggest thing that I've learned is, and see, I identify as a scientist, so I'm constantly working theories. And I've heard over and over again, especially since I've been more public in my presentation, i.e. social media, people saying you can't force someone else's evolution. You can't make someone else change. And I'm testing that theory right now with my husband. I am, because I was just like, I feel, and I know that I have triggered 2 breakdowns in him. And it's because I made his living circumstances so uncomfortable that he had to deal with himself. And when he had to deal with himself, he had to learn that the world around him isn't the problem, it's himself. And so the key to your question is, how do you get people who's not even knowing something's going on to notice something's going on, is to put them in a position somehow. And, you know, it's divine. We don't even got to show, we don't got to do nothing. God got it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they need to be in a position to just know that something ain't right. Something's not right. Me waking up every day unhappy ain't right. You know, me fluctuating. I don't even ask people how you feeling today. Don't ask me how I'm feeling today. I'm great. Now I may move into an energy where I'm just like, Lord Jesus, get this energy up off me. But for the most part, this up, down, depression, that's by design. No, we are divine beings.
Right.
When we came to this earth, if you look at these babies are happy.
Yeah.
These babies aren't depressed. These babies aren't this. The only time they cry is because they cannot speak and say, I'm hungry.
Right.
That baby is not crying because it is unhappy. That baby is crying because that is their means of communication. Until I can say, I'm hungry, I'm wet,
right,
I'm going to cry. So we develop this depression.
Yeah.
We develop this unhappiness.
That's what
So it's
definitely.
just waking up to knowing that, yo, this space that I'm living in, this constant unhappiness, I honestly feel, and I said 2 conspiracy theorist things today already, but I honestly feel like Monsters Inc.
Right.
They are harvesting, they're capitalizing off of all of this negative energy.
Yeah.
They're like, if there's nothing happens because it's not supposed to, right? They control everything. Why is everyone consistently depressed?
Right.
Why is that the vibe? You know what I'm saying? And happiness is fleeting.
Well,
Why?
I mean, I think it's a lot.
There's a
that's
lot
going on, and I think that we as people, we have to figure out how to make our own self happy.
Yeah.
But the capitalistic society, the work, go, get, money, this, fashion, what you got on, it can get to you.
It's a rat race.
It's tough, man.
Hamster wheel.
Right. I mean, we all saw the video this weekend of the guy with the, you see it, Jimmy? The dude with the blue polo on, got the striped polo and the New Balance.
He's dressed like you.
Right. That's what I was saying. I'm like, dang, they dissing me because that's my outfit. I'm pretty much wearing every day. But they was dissing, dude. They like, bro, you ain't clean, bro.
It's like you ain't fresh.
You ain't fresh at all. Give it up.
You could see in
he
his
was
face.
hurt.
He was hurt.
He put some time in that outfit, man.
But he had, after that, he got like 70,000 followers.
Yeah. Everybody's giving him love and showing him, saying that man was
like,
clean.
Dog, you tripping? Look at the outfit you wearing.
Right. And that's what it comes from, man.
Yeah.
We put so much pressure on each other. This man thought he was looking good. Instead of somebody saying, bro, you doing your thing.
Worth of, Whataburger. That man is fresh.
They broke that man down. He at home thinking his polo ain't fresh no more. You like, what? you know? Hey, man, I wear polo every day. So every day. It's almost, I can't see someone disrespecting the polo. But anyway.
That's that crabs in the barrel mentality.
Exactly.
And we don't even see we in it. We don't even see we in it.
Man,
we just on somebody's head. We just cooking them. No,
right.
That's that crabs in the barrel. Because how much further could we as a community get if every time we saw something that triggered us, like his shoes? You know what? What can I find positive to say about that?
Right, exactly.
You know, every person I look at, I was like, I could find one thing positive to say about them. If I can't compliment, ooh, girl, you so pretty, I'd be like, them shoes, sis. You know, I could find some way to uplift a person. And if every single human took it upon themselves to find a way to uplift every single human is uplifting someone. And we are helping change the energetic vibration. You know, instead of clowning his polo, what if you say, yo, that polo is clean?
That's fresh, bro.
Hey,
you looking good.
It's opposite day. That polo is clean.
Right.
You know, now he walking around thinking he look good.
Right.
And now he go hold the door open for somebody because he feeling good. And now that person, because someone did a gesture for them, is helping somebody get something off of a shelf.
Energy
you know,
is contagious.
It's contagious. It's like that Denzel Washington movie where that spirit was jumping from person to person. No, not that one. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Oh, I know this is. I bleeped it a little bit.
You're good.
I bleeped a little bit.
You can cuss.
But you know what I'm saying is, it's the one time is on my side. It's that movie.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and it was just, you couldn't see the ghost, but it kept going
jumping
into
from
people
person
and
to
the
person.
people were singing.
Yeah,
I forgot the name of the movie, but it was good though.
It was a good movie, but the point is, good energy. Pop on you,
right.
Pop on you, Pop on you.
Right.
Or if I come in here on some, you know, you're going to be like, that energy jumps too.
Right.
We have to decide what energy we're bringing into a room at any given time.
Yep, that's real, man. I just, I wish that that we did more.
Yep.
I wish we did more to uplift people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we have to also talk about people's trauma. Like, we don't realize that people only operate from what they know
Mm-hmm.
and how they're feeling about themselves. So whoever's clowning him is actually clowning themselves because you feel so unlike confident. You're not confident in yourself and what you bring to the table. So you go out clowning somebody else because only reason why you would do that is if you just feel a way about you. So it's like how you behave is truly a reflection of how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
That's real.
I must be super handsome the way unclowns me.
Yeah.
You must be super insecure about me then.
No, you're a teenager.
It's like, look
man.
at all
You
this
have
hunk of man.
you have to make sure to keep you guys in a certain box so y'all head get a little big.
You're a teenager?
Yeah.
right.
Right? That's a whole grown man over there. That's a whole grown man.
Yeah, I have a 17-year-old, about to be a 17-year-old. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. And I'm like,
right.
Yes.
he's not a grown man. But when I see other teenagers, I'm like, oh, y'all all look like this. Y'all all look grown.
Big.
I used to drop my daughter off at high school, and I was just like, "This is what teenagers look like."
No, it's different because I mean, look, I'm the same height I was in high school, and the guys were not
little,
6'3".
Right.
As like, I'm like, you're 15, 6'3".
Right.
I'm just like,
what y'all drinking? What's in the water now?
At first, I was like, because I would watch movies like Spider-Man, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I look old as hell in high school. Now
Well,
now I'm looking in high. I'm like,
you look old, right? You got beard.
beard.
Like exactly, man.
This is shaved. Like,
This is. I'm not
But
ready. I'm not ready.
One thing I did learn about why we think people look older when we look back at older pictures, it's the hairdos.
What was in style at the time?
The hairdos is what attached. This dude, he was talking about Golden Girls, and everybody was like, "Why do Golden Girls look so old?" And they were only in like their mid 40s, 50s. He changed all their hairdos, and they look young, and they look like people from the day. And it's just like that's things that's the stuff that messes with your mind. Like we don't realize it. You was like, why do people in the 90s, they all got old school haircuts, the boxes? That's what we put onto old people. So when we see that on someone young, we're like, why are you looking so? It's like the cul-de-sac hairdo, automatically you old. You know what I mean? Because we connect that to older people.
Yeah.
You could be 25 and you have that hairdo. We thinking you 45.
I'm sad that you're 25 going bald. Like, I'm mad at your genetics for you.
It sucks, but 25 is a normal age. A lot of men go bald.
What?
Yeah.
That breaks my
25.
Heart.
A lot of
Somebody I know.
That's crazy. I'm happy that my son has salt and pepper hair. He's literally salt and pepper.
Wow.
100%. He's had it since he was a kid. They used to call
That's
him Silver
crazy.
Streak. I'm like, I hope he keeps it. It's so cute,
right? I was like, that's dope.
It is
Anderson
really
Cooper,
cute. Yeah.
he went all gray by 27.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my son. It started a little patch and then it just keeps on
rocks it.
growing and growing and
It's
growing.
just a chemical.
Oh, you're great. Yeah, that's gonna be my son.
Yeah.
I went gray like this when I was in high school, and I was like,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
it's crazy.
You know, my boy Bill, he
let's not even get started with him.
he's 27. And like,
Bald.
He's balding.
Balding?
Hey, man.
He's like,
That's when it starts, man.
I really thought Bill. I thought he was like 40 something.
Right.
I'm like, how old are you, Bill? He's like, oh, I'm 27.
Dang.
It's the losing of the hair.
Birthday
Yeah,
on the
man.
screen one day, I went in and grabbed me some margarita mix, and I seen him put that birthday in, and he put his own in there, and I was like,
Are you that young? Oh my
He's
god.
younger than you.
I'm
Right.
like,
Hey, man, you never know, bro.
I thought,
Wow.
I really thought he was like, hey, you trying to go play basketball? I'm like, Bill.
Yeah.
Like, yo, old ass.
Right.
Trying
He
to
like,
break
man.
your ankles.
He's like, man, I ain't that old, bro.
Crazy.
So-
He's like, I'm like 9 years older than you, Jimmy.
We got a last question for you here, Lonnie.
Yes.
Where can interested individuals find your book, and how can they connect with you to schedule healing sessions or learn more about your teachings?
Okay, so my book, it can be purchased. What's the best that can happen? I actually have two books. One is, Party and BS. So if you into that,
Right.
then, and I wrote it in my 20s, so it's real. You can go to LoneeLifestyle.com, LoneeLifestyle. .com,
yeah.
as well as What's the Best That Can Happen, which is my healing journey that can be purchased directly from Amazon. Make sure the seller is Lonee Taylor, because there's other sellers out there. But if you want to give me the credit, make sure the seller is Lonee Taylor. Or you can just go to LoneeLifestyle.com, and that's where they could get the book, my content, because I am a social advocate. I am a healthy family advocate. So I'm really out here doing the work to help just restructure. I'm restructuring my family. Me and my husband just came to a head where we're ready to get a divorce, but we went into a space of separation where I went and slept in another bedroom. We didn't leave the house, but I went and slept in another bedroom. We lived as roommates for 10 days.
Right.
And that helped that energy dissipate. And so now we're back in our love language and loving on each other.
Yeah.
So you can observe that journey. And I do it out loud because in 2013, God told me to share my business, right? And so in 2024, I'm still out here sharing my business, but now it's in video form instead of blog form.
Okay.
And so as we go through this healing journey, all of that can be observed on YouTube as the apple turns, or TikTok, where I'm more active, but we all know that's phasing out.
Man.
As the apple turns. So people can get in touch with me, LoneeLifestyle.com, or they can get in touch with me at As the Apple Turns. Get in touch with the content. We are really doing the work. So all the things that we discuss within the community, we're out here healing through it. Like, we're not playing games no more.
Right.
We woke up to the fact that this the shim sham, and we done getting scammed.
Yeah, man. I'm 100% with everything that you're doing. I believe that so many of us need self-healing, and that sometimes it just needs someone to help you take that first step. We appreciate you coming on and talking about this. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back. We're here with Petra to talk about her event that's upcoming. Let's run to a break, bro. We appreciate you. If y'all can switch spots or whatever you want to do, babe.
Yeah.
Back. All right, y'all. Now we got Petra Sherwin-Fox in the house. She's the owner of Haus Of Soul, dedicated to amplifying Black culture. I know you have an event upcoming, the Soul Conference, the Soul Friends.
The Soul Friends, yep.
Soul Friends. And that's going on at, what is it, April
6th?
April 6th. And tell us a little bit about the event and what you guys are doing for the community.
So I am relatively new to the Arizona area. Been here for just about a little bit over a year.
Okay.
My husband's in the military, so we move a lot.
Okay.
And so I opened the Haus Of Soul while I was in Philly, in the Philly area.
Okay.
And we hosted a wealth of events when it comes to Black women, our healing, the collective healing, generational healing, and really focusing on creating those safe spaces, those brave spaces where you can really be honest and open. And so the analogy that I use is, when you get home, you wouldn't know, but your wife would know. When you get home and you take off your bra, it's that feeling of like, whoo, exactly. Like I could actually be literally that, you feel so tense, the tenseness in your body. And so being able to truly exhale, that's the kind of space that we aim to create. And so the Soul Friends was the idea I had in my head for the last 5 years. I was too punkish to bring out. But as I've gotten to Arizona and I've been really intentional about continuing my healing journey, it's a forever journey. It's like one of those things that you think you finally got something under control and then you figure out, oh shit, I don't. I got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. And so I was just called to take action and just to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was like kind of going back and forth, but I get into these modes where once I have the energy to go forward, I planned the event, found a space that would align. And so the Soul Friends is a day of celebration, a day of pouring into the souls of Black and brown women, and a day to truly tap into that love. Like a lot of what how do you pronounce your name? Lonee. A lot of what Lonee said really resonated with me because we don't have enough safe spaces for Black and brown women, particularly. You know, you go to these wellness conferences and you go to these wellness retreats and you see a lot of women and you see wellness being whitewashed. Like, let's just be clear. It's very whitewashed. It doesn't feel relatable. You know, I went someplace one time and somebody was like, I have waist beads. They're a very sacred thing for me. And Lydia was like, what are those waist things around your waist? I'm like, it was an uncomfortable conversation. And I didn't feel like I wanted to stop what I was doing and like explain and educate her in that moment. I'm on a retreat, sis. Like, I'm here to relax. I'm not here to educate and teach you what these things are. And I was like, girl, I didn't like it. Like, it kind of didn't, it took away from the experience for me. So when I say like everything that we do is catered to holding space for the Black and brown woman, is for you to walk in and, you know, when things are happening in the world, you don't have to explain to her what's going on. We could walk in a space and know that outside is fucking ghetto right now. And the shit that's going on out there is unacceptable. But you don't have to say that and have to continue to transmute that negativity. You can just be in a space where we understand each other's, you know, unique journeys, and we can really just be in community and understand like this is safe for us. Here it's safe. And so that's basically what we're doing. We're doing a lot of mindfulness. I'm always talking about healing, but making it fun. You know, Lonee spoke a lot about shadow work, and that digging deep is very gritty. It becomes very hard. You know, you're talking about the things that bring you shame, embarrassment, sadness, anger. And when we talk about generational cycles, I try to flip it on what about those generational gifts? Because we are brought into a lot of cycles and there's some trauma there, but like there's also so many beautiful things that can come from these spaces. And so my approach with the Haus of Soul is to make healing light, make it playful, make it airy. And so the little girl in you is seen. So little Petra is running around having fun, and you're pouring back into her because she went through those gritty times. So you can shine now. And so that's basically the entire day. We have panelists that are coming to talk that rawness, that authenticity, that like, you know, we're talking about this soft life, but like, what is that really? You know, standing on business, all of these, like, you know, these coin terms that are going around now, like, but what does that truly look like? How does that materialize in our lives? How can we put that into an action? And so I can't stand going to these, I don't like the word empowerment. It's one of them I know words because I can't empower you, right? Like that comes from within. So I create the space for you to step into your power, right? And so when you go to these brunches and you go to these places and they be like mean girls or like trying to capitalize on Black women's pain, that is what makes me, I'll be ready to fight. Like I'd be ready to literally just throw down because like, why would, you know, the world does so much of that. So why would we as Black women host spaces or host events that is made to diminish and pick apart
and go
our
into
pain?
The negativity that we already have upon
literally
ourselves.
Like I've had so many women come to me and say, I do not go to events hosted by other Black women because of experiences that I've had that have been unfair, have been like not fun. You know, you're paying $300 to sit around and feel that energy. And that fuels me even more because I know how hard it is. And like the Haus of Soul is truly a labor of love. And when you come to the spaces that I create and the people that I connect with, because I can't do it alone. I'm talking about florists, event decorators, chefs, all of these people that truly allow for this to become something. Like I'm intentional about creating those spaces with people that truly understand the assignments and they're not here for the dollars and cents. Because let me tell you, if I was here for the dollars and cents, I'd have been out of here a long time ago. Because this is not where you make it. This is not when you're doing these things, you got to do it because you actually care and you love Black women. And when I say I love Black women, I say that, and I also mean that I've gotten a lot of pain. Most of my pain has come from Black women. And I still show up and I still do this work because if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
That's real, man.
You know what I mean? So the Soul Friends is just, when I think of it, I think of just the vibrancy and the energy. When you walk into a room of a bunch of energy, of a bunch of people that see possibility and see how much could happen, and you know that it's with love, I'm pouring into you. I'm here to, I want you to know I see you, girl. Like, and I know that you look at all the things that you're doing wrong or you have not accomplished yet, but I see how far you've come, and I'm here to celebrate that. And we're not talking about what's the worst that could happen. We're talking about what's the best that could happen. Like, it's magic. Like, that's magical, literally.
Yeah, man. I agree. I agree 100%, man. We have to stop feeding into the negativity.
It's hard, but you know what? That's the thing too. Like, we got to be honest about how difficult it is outside sometimes because of how disproportionate we are as a community. Like, I have had the privilege of living in Germany for 3 years. I had my last daughter there, and the military has afforded us a great opportunity of being able to travel. I will tell you this: a lot of the shit that happens in the United States doesn't happen anyplace else. No. It does not happen anyplace else. You know why we have diabetes and all these things? Because of food. Our healthcare is horrible, and the food that we can afford is not horrible. The good shit. When you go to Germany, like, the milk, they're like, oh, you don't have to buy organic milk. The milk that is given to you is of organic grade. So I'm paying 96 cents for a gallon of milk and not having to buy the $5, $6 bottle of milk. Because here in America, you don't know what the hell is in there. A lot of things that are legal here are not legal in Germany. Let me tell you guys a quick story. Fanta, the orange Fanta. You know how it's orange here? It's not orange.
Yeah, because they
put a bunch of stuff in it.
It
don't even taste illegal. The same. It's so I'm like, I would never ever drink American Fanta. It's actually yellow.
Yeah, it was yellow at first.
And they went and changed it up and did all these things to it, and like, because
it's a French drink.
It's from France, and they have like all these different flavors now, but all of that they don't allow.
One was definitely like a
yellow, like a yellowish orange,
lime green. So they like a Mountain Dew color, right?
So they had that one. They had the pina colada color, exotic fruit color, all of these colors. It's not orange. And McDonald's in Germany, I don't know if you've ever heard of overseas McDonald's, but it's like creme de la creme.
Right.
You get chicken boxes and all kinds of things, but their chicken is little chicken wings this big.
Wow.
I'm like, what's wrong with them chickens? They're like, we don't have
steroids.
We don't have steroids and antibiotics in our chicken. I'm like, I've been doing things all wrong.
Yeah. I mean,
but we don't know.
The problem is that our government allows capitalism to run everything. And for these people to say, oh, we're going to get better outcomes economically wise, we're going to have bigger and more chickens. These things are bad, man.
They're not.
Antibiotics is not helping because you're cramming 1 million chickens into a little bitty area. They need these antibiotics. We keep using them, then they're going to have no effect on the animals in the future.
And by the time they keep on doing that, there's not going to be any chickens. You can keep on, steroiding them and all these things and pesticides on what they're eating and all this stuff. By the time we, 10, 50 years from now, we're going to be talking about they're going to be making their own chickens because we've literally at lab grown. I need to buy a farm. I need to buy a land where I can grow my own food, raise my own chickens. Like, that's like the, we think when you're young, the American dream is that picket fence, that having all this, all these things. Now it's like, I want to have a space where I can grow my own stuff and feed my family things that I know where it's been sourced from.
It's the education too.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
People are more educated than they were 20, 30 years ago on these type things and what they're putting in our foods. We're knowing a little bit more about this than our parents knew.
Yeah.
Our parents didn't really care about these things as much as we see the after effects of eating this crap.
For sure.
What's happening to our people. We died from diabetes and high blood pressure, heart problems. We having all these issues. They even saying that Alzheimer's is coming from our diets and things that we're eating all the time. So we have to really be cognizant of what's going on.
It's the one thing for me is like, I am the first generation born in America. My dad was born and raised in Russia.
Really?
And my mom was born and raised in Jamaica.
Okay.
So
I was wondering where the name Petra came from.
Yeah, it's actually a city of stone in Jordan.
Okay.
It's the female version of Peter. So Peter, Petra, and my great grandmother is still alive. On my mom's side, my great grandmother is 96 years old, and my grandmother, who's about to be 83, is her caretaker. Like, that's what we see in my family, and that's because the food is important in the Caribbean households for sure. My grandma been she's been growing stuff in her garden for as long as I can remember.
Right.
And those things have been like, that's like normal for me. You know,
Right.
she grows her own weed,
That's crazy.
literally grows her own weed and like grows her own stuff. And
That's
like
crazy.
cannabis use has been very like normalized in my family. I use it. I had definitely have a case of anxiety. I'm not sure what Black mother in America doesn't feel some kind of, discord with their child going outside, and so I've been able to really source like herbs and nature to support me, especially on my journey as a mom, as a Black mom, as a Black woman in America. It's not easy.
No.
And, but I'm also not going to allow these white people to like dictate, how I show up in this world. And so, it's one of those things.
Definitely. So how does Soulference differentiates itself from other events in Phoenix, particularly those focused on the soul and wellness?
So I think our unique approach, like, so the Haus of Soul, we amplify Black culture, right? And so I'm happy to hear that you're an author. I have a pop-up bookstore. We only read Black women author books.
We already connecting.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm sitting over here like boom, boom.
You're right. So we actually have a book club and we read books and stuff like that. And so I am like community first. And so the Soulference is with the community in mind, right? Like, I can't tell you how much sleep I've lost in a good way, in like a great inspirational way. Because I believe whoever's going to be there, they're there for a reason, and whoever doesn't come, it's not for them. I believe that, and I know that to be true. I know that the event will sell out with the right people. I know that to be true. And I know that the reasoning behind it is pure. And I know that when I sit down, I'm like, okay, why am I doing this? Right? Impact is always most important for me. I'm not going to sacrifice anything for the impact, right? So impacts first. How can we be most impactful? When I think about the panelists, that's most important to me. I have one of my very close friends. She's actually flying from Philly to come. And I'm like, I wanted a very wide range of Black women, right? So I'm an East Coast girly. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, right? So I come with that energy. And I have a lot of different personalities on the panel. And that's also very specifically designed, right? Because I don't want anybody to walk in and feel like they can't relate, because we all have different experiences. And so having a wide range of people from different walks of life, the corporate background, the homeschool moms, the crunchy moms. I'm not a crunchy mom. I be trying.
A crunchy mom.
A crunchy mom is a mom who makes everything from scratch.
Oh, heck no.
Like, she makes her own Pop-Tarts. And I'm like, go ahead, girl. Love that for you, sis. But that's just not my thing, right? Like, but everybody coming from different walks of life, different, personalities, some that are not as, I'm very loud and boisterous. And so having a wide range was really important. And so if you don't relate to everyone, you'll get pieces from every other person, and you'll find the person that you'll be able to relate with. And so that was really important. And the Black-owned space. Shout out to Onyx Art Gallery. Love the owners there. She's so amazing. She actually lets me house my in-person book club there too. My bookshelf is there for the books that I have in stock. So she's really amazing. Black chef, again, like, when I think about our Black community, recycling the Black dollar is important. And so I'm saying, okay, I'm going to make X amount of dollars, from the ticket sales. And I know that those ticket sales have to be poured back into other Black-owned businesses, right? So because I read something or I heard something, it was a Jewish guy. I am Jewish by birthright. My mom converted to marry my dad. And the Jewish dollar circulates in the Jewish community 16 times.
They are the best.
They have their own. Okay, so my dad lives in this little Jewish neighborhood. They have their own police, their own ambulance, their own banks, their own
hospitals,
everything they have, right?
They
and
don't
so they don't play that shit. No, they're not. And again, like, take all the politics out of it. Just look at the structural, structure of that.
No, I'm always been jealous of what they've done.
It's phenomenal, but it's also that coming together, that ability to know,
but they get a lot of blowback for it too.
They do, but
people are jealous of
because
what
they can't
do.
do it.
And
because you guys because a lot of us can't pull that off. But so for me, when I think of that structurally, I'm like, well, how can I emulate as close to that as possible? And so I have, looking for event spaces, especially in Phoenix, like in New York and in the East Coast, it's not hard to find Black-owned businesses and Black-owned spots, right? Here, I have found it to be a bit more challenging because it's so, the valley is so far away and there's so many different things, right? So like when I was looking for event spaces, I found some great ones, but I'm like, if I'm going to spend half of my revenue and put it back into not a Black-owned business, it didn't feel aligned for me. So I just sat on it. I'm like, I got an event, but I don't got a space yet until I found it. And so when you support the Haus of Soul, you're also supporting a lot of other Black-owned businesses, because for me, the foundational values are impact, never sacrificing impact for anything,
right?
And also taking that Black dollar, and we're trying to hit as close to 16 times as possible. And so I'm constantly trying to figure out how can I take that dollar and continue to recycle it.
That's huge. I mean, what we was at a meeting. What was it? Arrow. What did they call it again? Archwood Exchange. They're really big around here. They're the ones that have what's the name of their hat shop they have?
Hat, straws, and wool.
Yeah, straws and wool. You know them. They're doing the big things around here. But that's what they were speaking about. Just making sure the Black dollar is circulating.
Yeah.
And bringing the power to the Black dollar. And Phoenix is a great place to start, because we've been here for forever, but we don't have the large community of Black people that we do in the East Coast, and we do in the Midwest. So it's a great place to be able to put in a new blueprint on what we're going to do as Black people. And the East Coast, Philadelphia, New York, they are much stronger at some of the things. As you go west, we know why, but as we go west and we're coming out here and we're setting our blueprint here, we need to make sure that we're doing things to help Black people go forward.
I agree.
I agree with you.
I definitely agree with that. And I think also to your point, like Arizona is not as old as New York as far as state. This is a great spot for it. And I've noticed I don't. It's hard to say if it's a lack of culture or if it's a lack of support. There's a lack of something in Arizona. I haven't put my finger on it yet.
It's a little of both.
Yeah, and it's like, for me, if I see another black girl, I'm winking at you. I'm saying hi to you. I'm I'm complimenting you. I'm gonna find some way to pour into you, because I think that's really important. And here it's like,
but see, that's not the culture. Period.
Yeah, it's not. It's
not the culture, and I figured that out really fast. That it's a really self-absorbent culture here.
Okay, that's a good way. That's a good word for it. Yeah.
People don't even see Hollywood stars walking around out here.
Yeah.
Because that's how self-absorbed these people are. They are stars. They don't have time to see another star because they are. That's how it is here.
It's funny because it's enough of us. We could all be stars. Like there's enough space for everyone to be doing. I mean, like there's 50 different, brands of bread. Doesn't take away. I buy one.
That's real.
But Wonder has been going on. It's been around forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's so many different parts of this, and it's like I don't know. I come from a city that's very populated. There's a lot of us. Brooklyn, New York is. People think New York City. There's Brooklyn. There's Queens. There's so much to New York. And I've lived, again, overseas. I've lived so many places. And I think when I visited here, I loved the energy here. Living here, it took me some time to get settled because I'm like,
it's different.
Something is different here.
Definitely different.
But I feel like, if you keep on showing up as who you are, eventually people will see you. They know what to expect from you. You're gonna attract your tribe. Yes. I'm not trying, I'm not one that's chasing anything.
No.
I'm just gonna be who I am, and I know that the space that I've created is out of love, like in true admiration for the Black community. And you wouldn't show up and do this work if that wasn't what it was rooted in.
That's real, and I agree, man. We have some issues with connecting in Phoenix, and I think it's just because it's so large, and people are so self-absorbent.
That scarcity mindset is hard too.
Yeah,
we gotta come out of that space of scarcity and lack and step more into our abundance, because abundance is our birthright.
And it's a lot to do here, man. And there's a lot of Black people that's doing a lot of big things, man. I feel as though I'm from St. Louis myself, and I feel as though here so many people are driven to open their own, start their own, to do their own, because they see it's an absence. And,
Yeah.
and we are all, man, I've talked to so many Black people. We're all trying to do that same thing and move us forward. But it's going to take a little while.
For sure.
And we're all going to keep, long as we're all working to go to that same place.
Can I add a piece to that conversation?
Definitely, most definitely.
Just the thing that's resonating in my head throughout that is the crabs in the barrel mentality.
Yeah.
When we're in these highly dense populations of minorities or Black communities, we have a higher percentage probability, I'm trying to use the right language, to run into people that are willing to work cohesively with each other. Now in Arizona, because our population is so sparse or less of us, it seems as if it can't happen here. Well, the reason is that it feels like it happens more there is because everywhere you look is Black. That doesn't mean everybody is on team.
Right.
We get out here and everywhere we look, we have the off team and the on team. So because we have such a small population to pull from, we have more crabs than we have people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Over there, we got crabs too,
Definitely.
but we have more people.
Right.
So it seems like we don't have, we don't have the people here. We have the people, but it's also the fear of seeing someone else succeed over you.
Yeah.
You know, we can't collaborate because if I help you rise, what does that say about me? So that's that scarcity Black mentality.
Like there's not enough space for us all to shine.
It's for all, like she said,
That's what
I ain't ever bought a loaf of Wonder Bread, but that still on the shelf.
It's on the
So
shelf.
somebody's buying it. So there's a place for every single one of us to rise together. If we could get from the, you can't go because you're going to leave me. No, if I help you rise, guaranteed I'm rising too, because I'm in the energetic vibration of, I'm putting out, look, whatever we put out into the world is what we receive back. So if I'm helping you rise, you're giving me a platform by inviting me on your podcast. You know, now I'm going to take that same energy and I'm going to help somebody else. And they're going to take that same energy. And so we are our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
We are tripping ourselves up. So for you to say it's going to take time. I told this to a little girl the other day, a 27-year-old. I was in So Used over on Apache. She Black owned, want to shout her out, got my outfit from there. But you know, she was like, you know, we got to figure it out. I was like, you're 27. My daughter's 18. I'm a grown ass woman. I've been saying it's going to work out since I got here when I was 15. How are you at 27? How is she at 18 still saying it's going to take time? How much more time does it take? It's been at least 20 years. We ain't figured out as a Black community in Arizona how to make it work. We ain't figured out how to support each other yet.
No.
That's a problem.
It is.
It is a problem. So that's why I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate myself and us connecting in this physical environment, because my platform is online.
Right.
I'm now moving into the Phoenix area and connecting with people like you so that we can get this message and we can really do the work, because I'm done with this crab. I'm done with this crab.
Yeah, I don't.
But people don't think they're crabs.
That. Yeah, they don't.
People don't realize they're crabs.
Yeah, but I've gotten, you know, discernment is one of those things that really happens when you start to pay attention and you start to say, hold on, let me make some better choices and better decisions. And all connections ain't good connections. Like all money ain't good money.
Real.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So if you're doing things with the wrong intentions, things get a little bit sticky. But if you continue to align with what your foundational values are, and you don't waver from that, and you use that discernment when you make these connections, and when you operate in these spaces, I think that people they're either gonna get with it or get lost. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I personally am not in the business to drag people with me, right? Like, I'm going to show you the opportunities and the possibilities. And only when you're ready are you going to be ready to do it. It's like when you have a bad boyfriend. You know, we always holding on to that man. We know he ain't shit, but we holding on until we until we're ready. You're not going to break up with that man until you are ready to break up with him. Because your mama, your sister, your auntie, your bestie going to tell you he ain't shit. But like, I ain't see it yet. And it may take us a little bit of time, right? And so that's also honoring people and where they are in their journeys and understanding that they're, at their pace, at their time. And we could continue to just provide the resources as we do. And when we're doing it in the right reasons and we have our intentions are pure, all of these things work out. But I do believe in Arizona in particular, like, you can't complain about the lack of culture. You can't complain about the lack of Black events. And then when you put them on,
Nobody,
you know what I'm
there.
saying? Nobody, nobody. Oh yeah, I'm not
shows
willing to pay. Well, you're willing to. You're not. You gonna negotiate with me, but you willing to pay Gucci and Apple. You're not going in there and telling and nickel and diming them and realizing like, do you know how much it costs to put these events up? Like, when you're doing it, like, you're putting up your own money at first, right, to make this idea happen. And again, if you're doing it for the betterment of the community, like, I mean, I could put it on for me, my homegirls, if I want. Yeah, but it's one of those things when you're doing God's work. There's a book that I've read, The Creative Act, and I listened to the podcast On Purpose with Jay Shetty, and one of the things that he said that I think I was in that one of those spaces like, yo, I don't know if I want to keep doing this shit, because it's, again, one of those things that you want to keep on popping up, and I want to make sure that I'm always in alignment with my own values, and I'm always doing it for the right reasons. I'm not putting out the fucked up energy. But he said something to the effect of like, when you provide something to the world, it's your gift to the world. Like, think of it as your offering to God, right? It's not for people to like it. It's not for people to agree or disagree. It's truly for you to say, I love this thing so much that I want to share it with you,
the world.
And it might resonate with one person, 2 people, 3 people, 1,000,000 people, whatever. But you're doing it because you love it so much and you want to share it. And so it's like your children, right? Like, I don't own my children. I birthed them.
Right.
Like, I brought them earthside, but I don't own my kids. And I, as a teenage mom, I'm learning, like, I can't tell my son what to do. I could suggest, what I think might be a good idea, but he's getting to the age where he's making his own decisions. And I have to trust that I've instilled enough values in him that he's going to do that, right? Like, his teacher called me yesterday and he was like, listen, I got some bad news, but I got some good news too. I said, well, give me the bad news. What his ass did now, And he was like, well, he was in a hallway for 25 minutes. And there's a rule. Like, if you're out of the class for more than 20 minutes, you're at detention. I'm like, well, all right. Well, I mean, he was wandering. He said, well, he said he was going to a nurse. I'm like, well, he is fasting for Ramadan, so he might not be feeling well. It's his first year doing it. He's doing it in solidarity with his friends. He said, but I will tell you this, he's really respectful. Like, I came to him and told him these are the rules, and he was understanding, he was accountable, and he was respectful. And in my mom moment, I was like, all right, I'm not fucking this up. Like, I'm doing an okay job. Like, he got detention. There's accountability. There's consequences when you do something wrong. But he took responsibility. He said, you know what, Mr. whatever his name is, I understand. I'm going to, I know what I did wrong. And that's what you could hope for, right? And that comes from modeling that behavior. That comes from showing up on those days. Because I had him at 18. I don't know what I was doing at 18. You know what I'm saying? I was like winging it. I'm like, all right, today he's alive. Right? I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? And so I just operate in that state of like, with my children, with whoever I touch or I encounter, I'm just here to share, what I have to share. And I do it from a heart space. And it does make it hard too, because it's like when people do something dumb, I'm like, I'm really trying, I'm doing this with heart and passion and soul, but it also allows for me to continue to be foundationally aligned with who I am, my values, and share this space of healing, because in the depths of my healing journey, I did it alone. And I felt very isolated. I felt very lonely. And I also felt like something was wrong with me. And it's like, when now, like, it's actually part of the journey, right? I don't like saying, generational trauma, but more these cycles that happen like ancestrally. Like, I have my great grandmother. So all of her trauma, she's actually alive in the flesh. So I have my ancestors, I have that generational stuff, and I have things that I'm trying to heal of my family now, because I know as I heal my lineage backwards and I heal my lineage forward. So I don't take this work for granted, and I take great pride in being able to say that I don't got it figured out, but I truly am. I'm really dedicated to making sure that I'm as healthy as I can be, continuing to pour into myself, learning myself more, providing that space for my children, and doing it as an ode to my ancestors and my elders.
That's real. That's dope. And that's what it's about, man. The future is all it's about. That's what Habari Entertainment is about. Yeah. It's about building for the future. We're trying to give kids an opportunity, kids a situation where they can work in media. They can get into photography, camera work. We're giving jobs. We're giving opportunity, and that's what it's about. I'm not making anything, but I'm giving
but it's
people
a legacy
opportunity.
too. Like you have to realize, like what you're doing is you might not be getting currency, but you're getting that's a gift. You're providing a gift, and you are giving other people the opportunity to make their money. It's like teaching people, either give a person a fish or teach them how to fish. That's that analogy. So what you're doing it far exceeds anything that you could be paid for. You could be paying them. You're giving them a skill that they can build upon, and that's important, especially as a Black man in a Black community, doing this work. Like, I don't want you to ever think that that's something that's small. That's a big deal. And that's your legacy. And that's, I mean, as a Black woman, we always talk about the protection of Black men. Like, I want to see our Black men succeed. And if there's anything I can do to support them, especially because I know how hard it is, and we always talk about the Black woman and the Black man, and there's like this little thing, but it's like, we are one.
You can't make it.
You
without
can't
each other.
literally, like, and we as women birth.
Heck yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We bring you guys earthside. Like, it's like when we think about how detailed and how how these things kind of work, we can't take away the importance of one or the other. We have to really understand that there's the intricate pieces are really important together as a collective. So
Before we take another break here and we go into some more Habari news, I wanted to talk about when we had the Ace of Wings go on what's dude's name?
Keith
Lee show. It really showed me the ignorance of our local people here, man. I mean, it was so many people happy to see this man fail and get a bad review because they felt as though they didn't like the food. And
was
my
it the
whole
food or the person?
I think that a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like him. I believe I'm with you. People just don't personally like him. But at the same time, you don't like the food. I'm like, dog, why are y'all celebrating though?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's really weird energy.
Dude, weird energy, man. And I was like,
I've heard good things.
A lot of people love it.
Yeah, and I've heard good. Okay, so I'm fresh to the area, so please don't mind might be a little bit ignorance here, but I've heard actual good things about the gentleman who owns it.
I don't know the gentleman yet, but he's doing great things.
That's what I've heard. I heard he's in the community. He's hiring people. He's doing things. Okay, so his wings ain't for everybody. I mean, and the thing is that Keith Lee was trying strawberry. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, so don't eat strawberry wings.
Right.
Like, what the
Can you
hell
please
is
go
wrong with y'all?
get a lemon pepper? Go get a lemon pepper.
Barbecue, garlic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's sometimes it's like, yeah, I just want something to complain about.
I think so sometimes.
And it's like, why hate on another Black-owned business?
To see that all the business that he went to, the one that went the most viral and had the most views was the one that had a bad review on a Black restaurant. And we loved it. We shared it. We ate it up. I'm like, dude, I hate to see people. I hate when people go online and talk about Black businesses as one whole entity.
Yeah.
When I go to Black people always got bad customer service. All Black people. Why don't we do that about Target or about McDonald's? Because what we do, Target has bad customer service. McDonald's has bad. But we never put them and say white people have bad customer service. It's just we do that to ourselves. They be like, I'm not going to a Black business no more because they all do this. Like, dog, why do we do that to ourselves?
Have you patroned all of them?
You've been to, that's what our whole thing be all the time.
You've been to that's one.
You've been to every one.
Yeah.
Like, dog, we kill ourselves.
Yeah, that's programmed self-hate. We are taught to hate ourselves from birth. You know how much, and you probably too, sis, you know how much BS I went through from simply being light skinned. Just being light skinned,
dark skin, light skin. We all it don't. It's not a pass.
It's like we're taught to hate each other.
Man, it is weird. You're too dark. You're too light.
And so
it sucks. It really does, because you got to realize, like, this also affects our kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always thinking about karma. I'm like, I'm gonna put good into the world, and I'm generally a kind person. I'm not nice, but I'm kind. Authentically, I care about people. I'm a nurturer, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
But like also like when you do things like this and you put this affects our children, right? And so like what are we gonna have this idea that all Black owned businesses are not worthy of Black patrons? So then when we have our children that decided want to open businesses, this is the kind of feedback that they see.
Right.
Or if there was a bad experience, why don't you just have a personal, private conversation with them? Because you know that at the end of the day, they have to work 10 times harder than the person down the street because of the circumstances. Because systemically we are already
get loans,
behind.
We don't get help with our businesses.
We don't get funding.
We don't get the funding that we need.
Nothing. We're literally out here crowdfunding with our families.
That's real.
But then we don't get community support until someone outside of the community acknowledges us.
It's dope.
Yeah. That's the weird part.
Man,
that's the weird part,
man.
because we're that's herd mentality. Isn't that herd mentality?
Very much herd mentality.
And the herdsmen that we're following is not of our culture, is not of our race.
Mm-hmm.
And when that non-Black entity shows up, then we pay attention.
Damn,
or the shiny object shows up, and then we paid attention.
Right.
I'm literally with my content on As the Apple Turns, restructuring and healing the Black community. Like people who truly get into the content are healing their families. I get messages all the time. Yo, I was able to repair the relationship with my adult children. They stopped fucking with me. And then I started listening to your content and using some of your tips and tricks. And
That's beautiful.
I'm saving my family.
Right.
Yeah.
People will not pay attention to me. Why? Because someone did not tell them to pay attention to them.
Right.
So that's us in our culture. Not all of us. I don't want to totally encompass all. There is a large percentage of us who will not pay attention to anything until we're told to pay attention, because marketing and all of that is our carnal. It's our I don't want to call it our archaic brain. The first part of our brain to develop right back here, which means every marketing, everything is towards the sex, the drugs, the comforts of the life, all those different things. So anything that's introduced into our culture, because our brains have not been developed past the infancy, reactive brain, because we refuse to actually use our logical brain, we won't attract to anything until somebody puts a bright, shiny light on it and says, pay attention to this. And then all of us will go there in droves, but we will automatically Risa Tisa and her whole, who the
series.
Yeah, who the fuck did I marry? We're going there in droves. The hate on the Ace of Wings. Ace of Wings?
Yeah, Ace of
the
Wings.
hate on, we were going there in droves because it's negative. But when something positive shows up, nobody's paying attention until we're told to pay attention. Literally, my content is changing lives.
Yeah. And that's what it's about, man.
And people ain't paying attention.
You gotta stay positive, man. That's my whole thing. I just try to stay positive with everything, man, because it's hard out here, bro. Let's run a break and we're gonna come back with the news. What you want to do, babe?
This week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipling Ellison. Sponsored by...
Sponsored by no one right now. If you do want to contact us for shout outs or sponsorships, please email us at info@habarieNtertainment.com for we can get that going for you, man. This week has been a crazy week in the news. Since we left last week, man, we've had bombing in Moscow. Terrorists have went into Moscow and shot up a concert hall. People were trapped inside, getting killed, getting shot. I think so far they have 12, 14 dead, man. A pretty sad situation. We still have Israel talking about they're going to enter Rafah and bring more destruction We're hoping the Israeli government change their mind about this situation, because a lot of people think enough people have died for this situation, man. We want to start seeing peace and peace talks being happening between Hamas and the Israel government. Hopefully something changed, man. Trump's having problem with bond. He can't, what is it, 464 million that he can't come up with. He's online still talking about he got 500 million in cash on him right now. It's not going to help him. It's not going to help him, man. His lawyers are begging him to shut up. You know, they begging him, they telling the judges he doesn't have the money, and they're trying to figure it out for him. But he's online talking about he got it all. So we'll see what happens.
Trump
with
say
that,
he
man.
got it all. Meanwhile, his lawyers say he broke.
They say he broke. He ain't got nothing. We also had another story I want to talk about real fast was Candace Owens getting fired by Ben Shapiro from Daily Wire, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think it was Daily Wire, Daily Mail, something like that.
She wants to spew hate upon the Jewish community while working for Ben Shapiro, who is Jewish. Mm-hmm. Pretty smart, Candace. I've noticed lately though that she's been online talking on black videos, on blacks, on videos with black people, that dating video where people pop the balloon. She's giving her ideas or what she think about these dates and thinking about the black community dating. And dude, I do not want to hear it, bro. I've been seeing a lot of black people sharing her, and I'm not with it, man.
But her way of saying she black is.
Yeah, that was funny.
I know how I can recite the Fresh Prince theme song.
She said I'm black because I know the Fresh Prince theme song. Are you?
If that's not so great,
that's ridiculous, girl. I mean, I've been done with her for years, man. That she thinks the black community is something that she can make disrespectful statements about, and still be able to come back to the black community and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" She was on the Breakfast Club. It's just I don't know. I wouldn't have want her on my show. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying we big, but I wouldn't want to bring her on, man, because so much hate that she put out there back in the day that I'm just 100% against everything that she's for. I'm happy she got fired because, you know, I don't understand why they propping her up, but it's the conservatives that's doing it because they love to when a black person is talking down on other black people. They love that. So they're going to put her on a pedestal and let her spew everything she can. But now she's talking about Jews and she's fired.
You crossed the line, buddy.
Right. You're fired.
Yeah.
You should have stuck with the black people, man.
Stuck with the Negroes.
You know, and you would have been good, you know. But Ben Shapiro,
I don't like black people. Hello.
Yeah, they love that. They gave her a job. Here you go. You're hired.
I want to say about Jews. Wait a minute. Now.
Right. Now she's going too far. She started talking some things about the Jews. Right. So I mean,
Right.
You crossed it.
And then for us, you see how Ben Shapiro didn't play that for her to talk about his people.
Seen him respond so fast to anything.
But she talk about us, and the Breakfast Club let her come on the show.
Now see,
that's the kind of thing that pisses me off.
That's where she got screwed over because the Breakfast Club is the one that asked her all these questions. They called it a black quiz, and they gave it to her, and she was like, the first question they asked her was who was the first lady who was the first black woman to serve as U.S. Supreme Court Justice? And her response was, "Is this now? Just now?"
Wow.
It's whatchamacallit. Can you give me the first letter of the name?
Wow. So she don't know any
any black history at all. Like this whole conversation of her on the Breakfast Club, this whole interview was just.
Hey man,
y'all go watch it. Go see how trash it is.
She don't like black people, bro. So I mean,
because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous.
And I'm so sorry to say this. You remind me of Uncle Ruckus.
Right. Right. Straight
Damn,
up.
That's not a good.
And they quizzed her and quizzed her on how to on black stuff, and she didn't know any of it. So that's pretty dope, man. I mean, it just shows you that she's immersed herself in white culture, and she don't even try to learn anything from black people. It's pretty bad. Let's go into this real fast. Our first story, man. I got Oklahoma County officials recorded making racist remarks discussing killing a reporter in southeastern Oklahoma. calls for the resignation of county officials have surged following the revelation of a secretly recorded conversation containing explicit racist remarks. The recording obtained by the McCurtain Gazette News captures top officials allegedly discussing violent action, including killing reporters and lynching black residents. The situation unfolded after a reporter investigating corruption at the sheriff's offices left an audio recorder in the room following a county commissioner's meeting. In the recording, officials nostalgically reference violent acts reminiscent of Jim Crow era, sparking outrage and demands for accountability.
So the reporter accidentally left the
No,
recorder
he did
in
that
the
shit on purpose.
Yeah, ain't no accident.
He did that.
That
He
part.
already knew. He knew they
He
was
knew
racist.
something was finna go down.
Yeah, he knew it. These Monday racists. He left the recorder in there because he knew they was gonna say something crazy, and
Just
they
left the
didn't
recorder
let
and
him
left it
down.
on. And these idiots.
Give him everything he wants. But we already know this is how it is, man. We know that these
they
racist
walked out the
officials,
room.
man.
We can talk how we want to now, y'all.
Mhm.
Let's
So-
go ahead and get it all out.
The former McCurtain County Commissioner Mark Jennings is heard suggesting hanging individuals with a rope and discussing pre-dug holes for disposal. Sheriff Kevin Clardy
So he trying to go back
and
to the
others,
KKK, ain't
yeah, also implicated in the conversation. Dion Osborne, managing editor of the Black Wall Street Times, reflects on the disturbing audio, expressing alarm, but not surprise. I'm not surprised either, because we notice how a lot of them are, especially in Oklahoma. Given the prevalence of racism in Oklahoma, he commends the journalists who risk their safety to expose the truth. And these people are the same people that's telling you every day there's no such thing as racism. There's no racism in America. The black people are making it up. You know, we always making it up. The conversation prompts broader discussions about accountability and the persistence of racism in Oklahoma. Osborne highlights the historical content of racial violence in the state, such as the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, and emphasizes the urgent need to confront racism openly and explicitly. He calls for a shift in social attributes and hopes the incidents embolden individuals to address racism more candidly and assertively, both in Oklahoma and across the nation. It's real, man. We have to keep it going on what we're doing, because you know these people, they want to act like racism doesn't exist because they can talk like this in the privacy of their home. I'm happy he brought the recording out, because it just proves again that all these people who yelling and screaming, the GOP screaming there's no racism, they always making it up, black people always complaining. Then look, these officials who are in control of the state talking like this about us.
Right.
How do we have a chance when the people who are the officials, this is how they feel about us? It's hard, man. It's hard. And if you don't, and then they'll still tell you how we're making up everything and there's no such thing as white people having it easier in America. Come on, man. Think about what
They
you're
say
saying.
it ain't no white privilege.
Right, exactly. My next story here is GOP nominee to run North Carolina public schools call for violence against Democrats, including executing Obama and Biden. They still want to kill Obama. Obama ain't been in office in 8 years. They still want to kill that man. Dog.
Is he still breathing?
Dog, I was watching a video and this lady was like, who's in control of Biden? I think it's Obama. Yeah, it was like, what? Obama ain't been around. They still blaming this man. Like, dog, this dude is crazy. In a stunning turn of events, Michelle Moreau, the Republican nominee for superintendent overseeing North Carolina public schools, has come under intense scrutiny for her history of extreme and controversial comments. Moreau, a conservative activist who recently won the Republican primary, has a troubling track record of sharing baseless conspiracy theories and advocating for violence against Democrats. In a series of disturbing social media posts spanning from 2019 to 21, Moreau expressed support for execution of President Barack Obama and then President-elect Joe Biden. She went as far as suggesting televised executions and shared fantasy about killing other prominent Democrats, including Alyn Omar. You know they hate her guts. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper and former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. It's ridiculous, man. They talk about killing people all the time. They just went too far, man. The politics from the Republican side is just getting really crazy. That's why so many of them are stepping down in the Senate because they don't want to deal with it. Morrow's remarks didn't stop there. She advocated for violent actions against Democrats, often using hashtags like "death to traitors" or promoting conspiracy theories associated with Q9 movement, which has kind of died off a little bit. You know, so they've kind of died off. I think most people see that that's bull. Morals
and a lot of them got
online.
arrested and went to jail too. So.
Yeah, that's true. Her online activity included spreading false information and making anti-Muslim comments. Despite her controversial history, Murrow managed to secure the Republic. Oh, that's why she has the nomination, because they love the racism. The more racist shit you say, the higher chance you're going to get elected on the Republican side right now.
Yep,
that's just what they love it. They love it. If you say something that you hate black people, you might win in double digits.
So it's a tactic.
Man,
it may not even be a belief. It's just a tactic. It's
right now the best way. Even it was a black dude, and I forget where he's from, Georgia, and he's one of the most hateful people against saying things against his own right now, and they love those types. And he's a Republican. And he's moving up. However, Murrow's candidacy has raised serious concerns about her fitness for office, with many questioning her judgment and ability to lead effectively. Her extreme views and advocacy for violence have sparked outrage and calls for accountability within the community. As North Carolina prepares for the upcoming election, Murrow's candidacy remains a divisive and contentious issue, underscoring the broader challenge of extremism and polarization in American politics. It's a problem right now, man. The Republican Party is losing their mind.
But a lot of them stepping down too.
Yeah, they're quitting because there's no central ground right now. You have to be far, far right now. And they're getting into bed with white supremacists, hate groups. This is what they're doing. So, I mean, good luck with that, man. Hopefully that works for them. I just don't understand what the party is doing. It's they're gonna have an infight that's gonna be huge really soon here, and it's gonna be really bad because they're not getting a middle ground. What Republican, the foundation of Republicans is that's gone right now.
Right.
Lower taxes, lower regulations. That's the stuff they care about. Right now, it's just straight racism, hate, and keep the guns because we're scared of black people and Mexicans. So the next story I got here is Detroit Teacher of the Month claims she was fired over parents' complaint about her rapping side hustle. Then films music video with students. I don't know.
Hold on, wait. Let me get this right. Detroit Teacher has a rap career on the side.
Her name is Drippin' Honey.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
She from Detroit.
And then she creates a video with the students.
Showing her booty, shaking
after
her booty,
she gets fired.
Shaking it. She's twerking. And she's talking
about
No
wonder why she got fired.
She's talking about why she's talking about it's unfair that she was fired. What?
You think there's more to it than the rap career, huh?
Man, no, I think that's enough, me myself.
Well, the booty shaking and all that might been a firing.
I mean, unless you're doing something with
along with
kids,
the students. I can see that that's the reason why she got fired. But just for having a rap career?
Yeah.
No. When if
we all know people who got 9 to 5s and still want to rap.
I know of a teacher that rap, Mega Ran. He was a teacher at first. He was a teacher, but the thing is his raps were educational.
Right.
And
they weren't secular.
Sexual. I mean, this lady, she's very sexual. She's showing her booty in most everything I've seen her in. So you can't do this. I don't know what teachers gonna think. You got OnlyFans pages. But anyway, she found herself at the center of a controversy when she claimed she was fired due to parents' disapproval of her music endeavors. Despite being recognized as Teacher of the Month, wow, that's pretty dope. Brown faced dismissal from Taylor Preparatory, I'm saying that probably wrong, high school, after a parent anonymously complained about her rap career. The complaint allegedly that her role as a rapper made her a bad influence on the students. Brown recounted months of meetings with school administrators defending her involvement in the music industry, ultimately leading to a decision between her day job and her passion for rap. Feeling unsupported and forced to choose, Brown decided to bet on herself and announce her departure from the school by filming a music video with over a dozen of her students. That's the reason why you was fired. Quit it, man. The video, shot on her last day in February, garnered significant attention on YouTube. Brown emphasized that her music is fundamentally part of Detroit's culture and expressed disappointment that the school administrators failed to recognize the positive impact she had on her students. Despite her termination, Brown maintained her dedication, professionalism, and a passion for education, asserting that her personal pursuits should not have grounds for dismissal as long as they don't. Man, look, man, your personal life when you're a teacher interferes with personal life. Unfortunately, man, you can't have an OnlyFans page. You can't be shaking your ass in videos and think that these parents gonna want you around their students. There's too much sex going on between students and teachers nowadays. It's happening rapidly. We teachers don't. I just.
But you gotta agree with the teachers too. Their outside life, outside of their 9 to 5, their personal lives should not affect their work life.
If I go on social media, that's true. I agree. That is true.
Exactly.
And the Republicans. No, you're not going to be.
And see, here's the thing: every time a teacher has gotten fired for having an OnlyFans account, it's because a parent of one of the students at the school has paid to see that teacher's OnlyFans
but
account.
He doesn't work for the school, so he can do what he wants.
Your child goes to the school.
Yeah, why are you going to look?
Why are you going to look at your child's teacher in a sexual manner and then go report it to the school?
I don't know. We don't know if they went looking for that girl or they just found her while browsing and they saw her.
Exactly. Don't subscribe.
You're not going to be able to get away with this. I don't care what y'all say. You can argue all you want to.
You got 3 women in the room saying the exact same thing too.
I don't care. You're not going to be able to keep these jobs working, doing these stuff, and for your extra activity. It's not going to happen. If I go online and I make a stupid post, I can lose my job.
That's just like saying your job is firing you for owning a business that does media and entertainment because you could potentially write an article or say something about that company that does not align with that company's standards or policies.
You're naked online.
No, I understand what you're saying.
You're naked online, and you're teaching.
She wasn't naked. She was doing music. She rapped.
No, we're talking about regardless. She was showing her booty in these videos, man. Bending over, she's twerking.
What do rappers? What look him?
Rappers are not good influences. They're not good influences.
But she is. I understand what you're saying, but I think these are two different arguments. Her outside life should not matter. And what came to mind as soon as you came up to this was, I remember watching a movie a long time ago, and it was a lesbian couple, and she was a teacher, and she had to hide her relationship because teachers could not be like they're involved in people's lives.
And
so
that's exactly what a lot of these
but
people
the thing is,
don't say gay negative influence.
So
if the person was keeping it private in their home,
that's pretty much what she was. Another parent or teacher.
OnlyFans is not private, dude.
This girl's rap career was found by another parent,
right?
And that parent anonymously went to the school and said, "Hey, your history teacher is out here doing this with the students, and I don't think it's appropriate."
I think there should be a level of decorum if you are a teacher, because my master's degree is in education. I taught for 10 years, so I understand
you got to be very professional.
How your outside world can leach into your inside world.
Come on, baby, go back
on there. We are coming from an industry that would fire you if they found out that you were
if you post something racist
that's
online.
The energy that we're moving in 2024.
Exactly.
If you post something racist online,
I understand your point.
We're gonna come. Everybody's gonna come from your job. If you do something stupid online, everybody's coming for your job. They're going to send that shit to your job.
She can't twerk. Twerking is crime.
She can twerk.
She can't dance.
She can twerk.
She can't sing or rap.
No, we're not saying that, dude. Ain't nobody said that.
But that was the exit video.
That was the exit video. After she got fired, she went and did this video with the students.
With a bang.
Exactly.
But y'all
done fired me, so y'all, I do what I want to do. Woo, woo, woo. And that's exactly how she acted.
So you'll be okay with a girl, her teacher, shaking her booty online.
As long as she's
not interfering with her education.
Why is she watching the booty shaking?
Exactly.
That's a parenting
who
standard.
wants to have a teacher that's doing
Who cares
that?
what she doing?
What if the students find out? How they gonna have?
If I see my teacher,
thank you.
I would never look at her the same.
Thank you. The students are gonna find this out. They're not gonna respect her.
No, that's not true.
That's very true.
The parents, but here's the thing: the parents are finding out first.
Who's gonna respect the lady that's shaking her ass online?
Why not? She don't deserve respect.
It's just as much as they respect Cardi B and Nicki Minaj for shaking their booty.
Sex symbols. They don't respect them. They don't go to them as like. They're not respected.
They do. Do you know how many people go to these women for knowledge sources? Even though they're complete idiots, people still go to them for knowledge sources.
That's on them.
That's the shiny object stuff. That's what I'm saying. That's
you have to recognize if a dude was making videos and he's shooting people and talking about the streets, I wouldn't want him as a teacher in either.
I respect that. I respect what you're saying.
I don't want that around my kids. My kids, I want them to be able to have a good chance and not get caught up in this crap that everybody's doing all the time. I don't want my daughter to be Nicki Minaj.
And the person who has the influence over your child, which is a teacher, is now also demonstrating that which
that's okay.
I understand. I understand both sides. I understand both sides.
I just 100% can't. I just can't.
No. There is a separation.
Yeah.
It should.
However, it is not the students that are finding these accounts. That is where my issue is coming. It is the parents that are subscribing, the parents that are going out looking for it, scrolling for it, finding it.
A parent is a parent.
And then they're saying it and making it an issue.
Exactly.
Look at Mrs. Johnson. Oh, Mrs. Johnson.
Exactly. They sharing it with every other parent that's in there.
No, that's the kids are going to do that. If the kids find that out.
They gonna show it and be like,
right. And you think,
but who found it first?
But it doesn't matter. How is that going to?
A parent found it and showed this kid and said, "Look at what your teacher doing."
How is that going to affect the classroom?
My students found me.
How is that going to affect the classroom?
I respect both sides. Being a
She's
teacher,
naked.
you got to walk a certain way.
You it's all about respect. Unfortunately, you could be the freakiest girl you want to offline, but you can't put that in the eyes of other people.
Yeah,
that's just like
that. You got to walk a certain path as a teacher.
You can be
that is true.
You can do it all you want to. Just don't put it online, man.
If a teacher didn't go online shaking their booties,
right, we wouldn't know.
But they was posting verbiage of sexual innuendos or whatever have you.
Okay.
Is that a problem too?
Fuck yeah.
You can't be human if you're a teacher. Unfortunately, you can't be human if you're a teacher.
Yeah.
And that's basically what America is trying to say. You cannot have a life and be a teacher. You cannot have anything. You can't do anything outside of being a teacher.
Look, man,
you
deal with kids. You are held to
you can't think your own way. You can't do nothing for yourself. You can't do anything but be a teacher because you became a teacher and you work for this school district.
At every other job, you could mess around with your coworkers and you can mess
around. You can't do it as a teacher.
Exactly.
Can't do
There's certain rules that's held at certain jobs. You're messing with kids, man. It's going to be different rules. It's not going to be the same as you at your job. It's a different situation. They're dealing with kids.
True. But at the same time, as a student, I don't want to see Mr. White and Miss Whitehead over here having a whole ass argument because they in a full blown relationship and they can't get their shit together at home. So they brought it into the school.
That's why they don't really like teachers dating like that.
But they do it.
I know, because they can't make them not. But they don't like it. And if it becomes a problem in the office, they will be fired just like at any other job. You can't bring that problem.
They ain't gonna fire them. They're gonna move them to another school district and separate them. They're not gonna fire them. They're gonna separate them, just like any other job.
It's hard to get teachers. No, you can get fired for that. I've seen people at my job be gone, bye because you want to be having sex with everybody at the department. And
every time I've seen it, what happened? They just separate them every time. At every job I've seen that's done it, they just separate the two.
Well, let's go into this next story, man. I'm not going to sit there and just argue with you.
No, I'm just saying, like, there has to be a balance where...
What?
You
There's
a principal if you are in
What
school.
is the balance? So if there could be a balance, what is the balance?
Exactly.
Let's hear
If
it.
there's a balance, like
What is the balance? Tell us what's
just,
your idea of the balance?
You have to pick and choose carefully the words you use as a
Okay.
teacher.
Right, definitely.
You can still make those types of posts, but just do it like how the 90s R&B songs used to do it when they used to put everything in
You can't
in your innuendos and not fully be like sexy red. My asshole, my booty hole is red, brown, or whatever you want to call it. You can't be that explicit.
No.
But you can definitely have
No, you can't.
your own
You have to be a
you
nerd.
have to be able to let these people have their own opinions and their own thoughts. They can't just be like, oh well, I'm a teacher and I can't have no life. I can't do this. I can't do that because
we're not saying you can't do anything.
I can't post this. I can't post none of my own thoughts on social media because if I do, one of these parents of my students is gonna come back and complain, and then I'm gonna get fired because I posted something dumb on social media.
Yes. We're all going through that too.
It's
If you
a slippery slope.
you post something dumb right now that's racist as hell, somebody can send that shit right to your job and get you fired.
But that's the thing, don't nobody know what my job is because I
But
don't
that's
post
hate.
my job on
That's hate.
social media.
They'll find out.
People believe anything too, because there was this one time me and this girl broke up, and she called up to my school and told them I had a gun in my bag, and like 15, 20 minutes later, the principal, the school resource officer, ran into the classroom. He was like, "We need your bag," and I was pulled to the office, and I went in there, and I was like, "I already know what this is about," and I showed them the text messages, and they were like, "Oh, okay, it's okay then." Then like, you know what I'm saying? We believe like.
That's better safe than sorry, though.
They checked it. They still checked it.
Yeah.
They were like, it's cool. Like, we ain't gonna like call your mom about it.
Right.
It's fine.
But then that person who made that
yeah,
they should have been disciplined.
They should have been.
They should have been disciplined for making a false accusation.
But at the same time, man, you.
Principal of the school sends an email to another teacher. Email gets leaked. In the email, she uses the N-word with the ER twice.
Oof.
Should she be fired?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. See, with the racism stuff, you quick.
Because it's the form that she's using the hard ER.
Think about
If she'd have used
my school.
a GA or
Even in GA, I still feel like
she should was
it
exactly.
a school email or was it off duty?
It was a school email.
Oh,
Yes.
she
Then
said the
then
N-word.
that's why. That's
hate-
why she should be fired. If it was an
I
off
hate bringing it up, but y'all
Right.
remember what happened at my school?
What?
Y'all remember I got those emails about that teacher who was caught with that student,
Oh yeah.
and
She ended up committing suicide,
yeah,
right?
she committed
The
suicide.
student or the teacher?
the teacher.
Yeah,
The teacher ended up committing
Because she
suicide
didn't
because
want
it
the
came
information
out.
to come out that she was having a sexual
Having
relationship.
sexual
with
she
a
was
student.
actually like one of my teachers. Like I had her
Right.
for chemistry.
That's why this
like-
stuff is so important.
It's hard, but I feel like the thing about it is that I don't think that there's everything by case basis.
Exactly.
That's being allowed and what's not being allowed.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's clear. Because like for me, my kid is not going to a school with a principal using the ER word.
Don't want that
I'm
person,
very
right?
surprised that she hasn't been fired. She's still
That's crazy.
Still a principal at a school that she used the word, and it was all over Twitter. And she's like, "I said sorry." Like I said sorry.
No, she should be. To me, she should have been fired.
Yeah, because that roots back to her life
philosophies.
philosophies.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm like, it doesn't matter how you meant it.
You
a
use-
racial slur
right.
in
Yeah.
an email, regardless of what
With your job email.
With a work
Right.
email.
If you was
It said
personal,
twice.
like
you read over this and said, yeah,
right.
this
That's
is well
cool.
received. I was so baffled by that.
Yeah.
I was very surprised because on the East Coast, she would have been out of there.
Right.
Out.
Because
Like so
but
fast.
that's what happens when there's not enough black representation sometimes, and we make bad decisions, like putting Tom Horn in control.
That's
out
true.
here.
But we
That's what
also
they-
have to realize that in a state like Arizona,
Mhm.
where we're 49th in education.
Yeah.
We're 50th, so hey.
Right?
Right?
That part. But we can't afford to lose teachers. America in general
Period.
cannot afford to lose
But that
teachers.
means that we can't have any rules, though. That can't mean that this is just could be lawless.
But
And
that
this
is
teachers
true.
is
chick
doing
over
what they
here
want
using
to.
the hard ER, but this girl get fired for shaking her ass. Like that's
That's
hypocrisy.
just two different. That's just two different.
hypocrisy.
Two different states, two different districts, two different situations.
Received, but it's like
But I mean, the baseline,
It's silly.
the basis of that is okay. So like, we don't want a teacher who is shaking her ass online or whatever, right? Sexualism and all these things, but also like there's another level of this where we want our girls to be confident, not necessarily in that route all the time, but to be
confident in their own skin,
and like and to show up. So like I think if you had to have one or the other, I would prefer. I think that we have more to work with the other one, because the ER. I was like,
yeah,
that's
that's bad.
My kid
right.
cannot come here.
That's horrible.
Because now there's an issue.
That teacher was a high school teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this,
them kids done seen
there's
worse.
this
Right, them kids done seen worse, right? They
listen.
listening to Sexy Red.
She is a high
Red
school
booty hole. Like, what
history teacher.
No. Yeah, that's bad.
That's their demographic.
But I'm gonna go on to this next story, man. We got West Phoenix residents voice concerns over proposed homeless shelter here in Phoenix, man. Residents are expressing concern over proposed homeless shelter in the city of Phoenix. Aims to address the urgent need for shelter because we have homeless people everywhere. And people are just mad. They don't want this shelter to be built here at 71st Avenue in Van Buren.
Because they want to keep all the homeless shelters centered towards downtown Phoenix, and that's why you got places like the Zone and stuff popping up. It's because that's where
wrong.
all the homeless people are.
On every side, there should be a homeless shelter on every side.
You should have a homeless downtown, North Phoenix, South Phoenix, East Valley, West Valley. There should be at least 2 shelters per area.
So we got plans to provide over 300 new beds. Out of the 790 that the Office of Homeless Solutions aims to add in 2024 and 25. The proposed shelter has sparked worries about residents about safety, particularly with the school situated less than a mile away. I understand that. Concerns about potential encampments and crime have been voiced, etching fears of replicating issues seen in downtown Phoenix, where it did get bad for a little while, where people were breaking into buildings and doing stupid stuff. Has to be more security, but we have a homeless problem. We can't just keep the people camping in the streets. So we have to build more
rent wasn't so
shelters.
high, we wouldn't have this problem.
That part.
Well, capitalism runs America, man.
Well, aren't the homeless people there anyway? So why not shelter them? Because
that's what I'm saying.
I'll be taking them off of the corner on 75th and putting them in a building. They're still there.
Exactly.
Well, what they'll do is they'll clean areas up. Like the Zone, and this is what they'll ask them to go to these places. So they'll point them to these places and to these beds and try to clean the areas up, because
police come in and
clean it up
physically, like,
and make
help
them go to
transport them to the areas they need to be in.
So I mean, it has to be some solutions for this. It can't just always be what Florida done. Florida this week, they made it illegal to sleep outside. That's all they did.
No, but that's the same thing. That's what's going on here too, because
Scottsdale did that too.
Scottsdale did it. Mm-hmm. You cannot be homeless and live outside.
So
so if you're going to make it illegal for me to sleep outside as homeless, give me somewhere to stay.
Man,
simple as that.
Hey man, look, they don't have. That's not the rules, unfortunately.
Just give me somewhere to stay. That's all these people are asking for.
Very passionate. But yeah, man, Rachel Milne, director of the City Officials of Homeless Solutions, emphasizing that the shelter will operate under strict regulations to ensure safety, include a closed campus, limited capacity, and a strong code of conduct. Milne urges residents to consider the success of similar shelters set up elsewhere in the city. Despite reassurances, residents remain apprehensive, highlighting the need for mutual considerations between the city's homeless population and local communities. Man, dude, I was talking to some guys at work yesterday, man, and both of them really disappointed me, the people I was talking to. You know, they were just like, homeless people, it's their fault. They're usually drug addicts.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
And they're just usually lazy. And I'm like, bro,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was a guy that I met in Philly. I don't honestly know the guy's name, but I would always see him and I would give him stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have resources, and he was like, I don't want to live like that.
Right.
He's like, this is what I want to
right.
do. And I'm not ready.
Jimmy, stop.
Don't worry. I'm not ready.
Right.
I'm not ready for that. Like, leave me here. Like, don't try to get me clean.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to get me to all these things.
That's
like,
true.
you know, it's one of those things. It's when they're ready.
Yeah.
Some people prefer the nomad life.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah. Have addictions, and that's a disease. Like,
but they should still be able to have somewhere to go if they need to.
And you also can't tell a person. I mean, Scottsdale is weird, from what I understand.
Definitely.
So of course, things like that are going to happen and fly out there. But like, it's inhumane.
It's
exactly. And then, you know, the ordinances of it's okay to say no to panhandlers.
Yeah, they put that out here too. It's whole. I think that's statewide. Is the panhandler?
But thing. I see it more in the East Valley than I do on the West Side.
Yeah, I mean it's tough, man, because like I said, man, it makes the city look ugly. They are tearing the city apart, but it's not their fault. Rent went astronomical the last 3-4 years, and people have a tipping point, and we're not definitely.
Yeah,
and it's not enough money.
That would never fly in New Jersey. I have tenants in my house right now that haven't paid rent. It would take me months to start the eviction process and then get them evicted.
Right.
Here, 5 days.
Get him out.
They with the letter.
Yeah.
Wrap this out. I'm like, even that, it's, you know, the inflation, the cost of living, all these things.
It's tough, man.
Do that to people's families.
And then some places they'll hit you with a 5-day notice before the 5 days.
That's
right.
Insane.
So it's tough. So despite reassurances, like I said, the city of Phoenix plans to pursue a permit on April 4th with intentions to break ground immediately approved, aiming to provide shelter before the sweltering summer months arrive, man, because we have a lot of deaths out here. People trying to sleep outside, man. In these summers,
we have a lot of heat-related deaths.
A whole lot of them. What you got?
This week. In January, Brooklyn Bernard received a perplexing letter from a state information services offering condolences to her estate, suggesting payment of a debt. Right? Bernard, who was much alive, initially dismissed it as a scam, but later discovered it was related to a creditor. After paying off the bill, she forgot about it until her bank card was denied at a Walmart. And she received an email stating that she was deceased, leading to her bank account closure.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
The error stemmed from the Social Security Administration mistakenly declaring her dead.
But it wasn't their fault. Is because the person put the wrong security number on the death certificate. So it stems from someone making a clerical error.
Yes.
And then it comes to them. And they think that the person did the thing right. They should be quadruple checking.
But the Social Security Administration is the one that's they're giving you,
and you're making the decision to wipe someone off the planet Earth when you take.
So you would think that the Social Security Administration would have checks and balances in place to make sure
at least a double check
that this person is not dead.
But dude, it happens.
Let's run this person's Social Security number to see if they are.
To make sure it matches.
They still got a bank account. Do they have anything active going on with their finances?
No, you just got to make sure that it matches. That's all. Make sure that it's just the same
with the person's name.
Exactly. That's all you have to do. And they're not doing that. But
and for the Social Security Administration to do this between 7,000 and 12,000 times a year, that's alarming.
Somebody needs to do
because why does 12,000 people per year get declared dead on accident? Because the Social Security Administration made a clerical error. Well, they didn't check the information that came to them.
Right. They didn't
to make sure it was correct.
They didn't triple check. You put a death certificate, you think that the person that created the death certificate did it correctly. But they need to stop thinking that, because some people make mistakes. People make mistakes a lot. So we can't be mad about it. We just hope that they can do things to get it better. And it should also be easier to come back from the dead, because this happens a lot. It took this girl almost 6 months to get her stuff back together, because
and that's what this lady is going through right now.
She'd be homeless, everything else, because they didn't declare her.
She's like, I can't even buy food for my daughter,
right?
Because I don't have a bank account.
Can't get.
They closed my bank account.
They closed
everything. I can't even pay my rent.
You're dead. What you need this stuff for? So it sucks, man. But they definitely
and then for them to take 6 months
to figure it
to
out.
fix it.
And then you got to fix it. They don't fix
The
it.
Social Security Administration,
They
they're
don't
not
do
going to
nothing.
fix it themselves.
You
When
gotta
you
fix
call them and tell them, hey, I'm not dead.
Right.
You got to provide them with all the evidence that you're not
alive,
dead.
Right. So,
Crazy part.
yeah, that sucks.
For them to reverse the error they made.
Yeah.
So that's very alarming that they don't have someone that comes in and audits them.
Yeah.
Or they don't have an internal auditing.
That would take more tax money and more tax dollars to that situation. And, they only allocate a certain amount of money to every certain things. And the budget look like it needs to be higher for this situation. And, how people are, they're going to vote against that.
Exactly.
Oh, we need more money. It didn't happen to me. Forget the people it happened to now. So it's tough, man.
Yeah, it is.
What else you got?
This week, DoorDash and Wendy's announced that they were partnering.
Oh, God.
To test out a new food delivery service.
Mm-hmm.
They're testing this new food delivery service in Christiansburg, Virginia. And you can now get your food delivered via drone.
I can think of all the wrong things that can go wrong in this.
They're going to drop, a drone comes over and it's going to drop your food, drop your drink.
Right,
you might get splattered with a Pepsi or a Mountain Dew.
Thing. I'm like, this doesn't sound like it's going to be a
Walmart's
good ride.
doing that right now. There's
a
drone thing.
With Walmart, I kind of understand because the packages, the way everything's boxed up.
Not everything with Walmart comes boxed up, though.
But I'm just saying, you could box the products up and wrap it up pretty nice and put something. But what can you do with food when you're dropping it off? You have to be really careful with this food, and you're flying it across with bugs. I don't know, man. I don't want my food flying, bro.
Right.
And what's the condition it's going to arrive in? Because it's like, is it hot? Like that air on
all
it?
that air is going to cool your whole bag down.
I just can't see it happening, man. And unless they I can see them. Maybe it's a box they bring it in, and then the drone carries that box. I guess, and then you open it and get it out of the food out. Maybe
they're saying the process involves packaging the food at the Wendy's restaurant and then utilizing wing drones for delivery, promising arrival within 30 minutes.
Definitely cold food.
Definitely cold food.
But I guess, man,
your fries are cold by the time you get to the end of the parking
real.
lot.
30 minutes?
Right?
30 minutes?
That's bogus.
But I mean, it's a DoorDash option. How long does DoorDash take for you to get your DoorDash food?
Jimmy, how long does DoorDash take?
About 30 minutes to an
Why
hour.
You doing a widescreen? Yeah. Put it on her. No,
what happened?
But anyway, how much is it? Because you pay like $10 a month because you're like a subscriber to DoorDash.
Y'all love wasting money. My time, I'm a subscriber.
Man, love wasting their money, man. Throwing money away.
Okay.
So
love
dumb.
it.
Loves it. Yay. You just wasted $14, $15 that you can have in your hand.
Every time.
It's dumb.
And they're saying that this venture builds upon a previous successful drone delivery pilot program that was conducted by DoorDash and Wing in Australia in 2022.
Well, if it can work in Australia, man, that's a crazy area.
So Christiansburg is serving as the inaugural
they're gonna try
U.S. location for this service.
Works.
But DoorDash plans to expand the test to more cities later this year.
We'll see, man.
So
we'll see.
Exactly.
Is that your last one?
Yeah, we can go to Hot Mess. You want to?
No, let's do sports real fast so we can hurry up and get up out of here. We are over.
Way over, but it's all good.
Habari Sports.
The Suns, a 2-game winning streak. We beat Philadelphia. We beat Atlanta. I'm not really happy though, man, because we have a really tough schedule coming up. We have a couple games against the Spurs back to back. Hopefully we can win both of those, man, because this is really tough, man. One loss can put you at the 8 seed, 10 seed, have you in the play-in. It's pretty tough right now what's going on.
And they're entering the last stretch of the season.
Yeah, last about 13 games of the season right now. But the Suns' 3-point shooting and bench outbursts outweighed turnovers in the win versus the shorthanded Hawks. Turnovers has been an issue for us all year because they decided not to get a point guard, which was the worst decision ever. I don't know why they thought that Booker can become a point guard. He's not one. He likes to shoot. So it's been bad. The turnovers have been horrible this year, and it's pretty much probably what's going to keep us from winning because we cannot keep the ball from turning. We cannot just stop making turn. I think we had 25. So we're pretty bad, man. The performance that ultimately secured them a 128-115 victory at the Footprint Center despite some turnovers. The Suns' exceptional three-point shooting and remarkable display for their bench proved to be a decisive factor in the win. Phoenix boosting a 41-29 record showcased the prowess from behind the arc by sinking a season-high 22 out of 41 attempts. See, if we don't have a game like that, we lose because we got to be great from three-point to even be in the games. The ball movement, orchestrated by head coach Frank Vogel's .5 mindset, created numerous open looks for shooters, contributing to Suns' success. Notably, the Suns bench delivered their best performance of the season, outscoring their counterpoints 47-26. Gordon, who was back, he was hurt, led the charge with 21 points, supported by Royce O'Neal's 14, which has been a good pickup. As they capitalized on open opportunities from downtown, Drew Eubanks also made significant contribution on the offensive end, providing energy and defensive presence in the absence of Nurkic, who briefly left the game due to an injury despite facing challenges, including turnovers and opponent injury. The Suns demonstrated resilience and depth, highlighting their potential as a formidable contender in the league. Yeah, right. Suns have 2 games against the Spurs, like I said, coming up this week, so we'll see what happens there. Let's do the hot mess, and then we got one more than the game. I got with the comic books. I guess I can do that real fast. Run comic book corner, man. You gonna bring the game in?
They said longtime Orioles. I'm not sure it's Baltimore
Orioles.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by
But like she was saying, the owner of the Orioles passed away today. That's pretty sad, man. Condolences to the family. I think they've owned the team for a long time, but I didn't look into that. Comic book corner, man, this week, man. Wow, man. X-Men 97 was amazing. I felt like I was in 98, 99 again, man, watching the cartoon, man. It was pretty crazy, man. X-Men 97 is making waves as an animated sequel to the beloved X-Men, the animated series, which originally aired in 97 with the 10-episode new season now streaming on Disney+. The series continues the adventures of the iconic group of mutant superheroes in the classic 2D animation style of its predecessor. It also added some 3D to make sure that scaling was good, because scaling was really hard to do back in the day, and I used to notice that. But Bo DeMayo, the show created by Bo DeMayo, who was just fired last week. The show marks the introduction of the X-Men into Marvel Cinematic Universe, generating immense excitement among fans. One of the most notable aspects of the set 97 is the return of the original voice cast members, including Cal Dodd as Wolverine and George Boozer as Beast, alongside new additions like Jennifer Hale as Jean Grey and AJ DeCostaquillo as Gambit. I probably destroyed his name, but hey, man, the critics have really loved this series. They've gotten 8 out of 10. They've gotten 100% from Rotten Tomatoes. So this has been a really positive move, bringing the X-Men into Disney. And a lot of people have been complaining about Disney all year and complaining about Marvel, but I think, with all the turmoil and the strikes and COVID, I think they did a decent job, man, coming out of this situation. It's hard to make movies when you have so much going on, and you need everything to work out right. And it's hard during COVID. I know it was almost impossible.
But I mean, if you look at it though, a lot of Marvel movies and projects, the actors and actresses, they work really close to each other.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult
for COVID, definitely,
for them to get movies out and for them to produce movies and direct movies and
you need
film
a lot of
them
people,
because of how close they have to work.
You had just like the one with Samuel Jackson. It was bad because they couldn't have people or so many people in the areas. So it was like they had to have people spread out, and it just didn't make the show. The show didn't look right. It suffered. So those things hurt. Maybe they should have put it on hold, but you want to try to work through and do what you need to do. Let's go ahead and do the hot mess, man. Who is this?
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Iesha Rowan. Sponsored by
no one, but if you would like to sponsor us, please email us at info@habarientertainment.com. All right, so this week in Hot Mess, we got a few. Following the release of Future and Metro Boomin's collaborative album, We Don't Trust You, social media erupted when Kendrick Lamar delivered an explosive verse on the track Like That.
The track is pretty decent, man. I listened to it.
It is.
It's a remake of the beat I couldn't think where that beat was stolen from, but it definitely was a remake. And the verse was pretty cool, man. I had a lot of people saying it was mediocre, it was whack, but I thought it was cool. But I'm a Kendrick fan though, so.
True. Lamar's lyrics took aim at fellow rappers Drake and J. Cole, seemingly responding to previous references made by the duo. Referencing Drake and Cole's joint song, First Person Shooter, Lamar expressed disdain for what he interpreted as indirect insults, declaring himself the sole standout without the need for a big three.
Yeah, I mean, he also talked trash about Drake having ghostwriters back in the day. So this has been a back and forth for a while. And this seems like this is just more of it. I don't think it's really gonna go too much farther than this.
It said Lamar also appeared to directly challenge Drake with references to his album For All the Dogs.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Drake and J. Cole were on tour together titled the It's All a Blur Tour, referencing their collective collaborative hit First Person Shooter. The tour came after their successful collaboration on Drake's Scary Hours edition.
Yeah, Drake, man, I just don't know about a beef with Drake, man. It's like beefing with Keith Sweat or somebody. I just don't. I just don't feel it, man. It's not. Well, I don't know.
I'm just gonna say it like this. I have been watching Drake since his Degrassi days.
Okay.
And I didn't like Drake when he would do talent shows and do the little rap concerts and stuff.
Well,
on
he
Degrassi.
rich, so you can't say nothing about him.
So
everybody don't have to like him.
He's not for everybody.
Everybody, some people love him, some people
Damn near
don't.
a billionaire.
Yeah, he does.
And
well.
I still don't like his music. I still don't like the way he raps. It's just
him.
I mean,
I think you young cats, man, y'all have a problem with
if there's money,
if somebody don't like
matter.
something that they like.
Nah, man,
money,
it's just like, dog, everything is not for everyone. Drake is for some people. Some people gonna be Kendrick. Some people gonna be cool with J. Cole. This is how life is, man.
Exactly. I mean, you can't.
Nobody's hating on Drake because they don't like him. It's just I just don't mess with.
I didn't like him when he used to do his little raps on Degrassi. So
because they was corny.
They was corny as hell. And to me, his raps now are still that corny.
I mean, he aims for a different. He
aims for a totally different audience.
Right, 18 to about 25. 26 is what he's going for. He's not really going for grown-ups. He aims for the young crowd. And he's still relevant there, man. You got to give it to him. He's still relevant. Some people give him shit for it because they like, dude, when are you going to grow up? You're almost 40 yourself, or if not 40. But hey, this is what he does, and he's good at it. So, but hey, man,
you can't down him for that.
The beef is still whack, though.
It really is.
It's whack. But what else you got?
Puerto Rican reggaeton star Bad Bunny has filed a lawsuit against Eric Guillermo for copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Over a concert footage posted on YouTube.
This is crazy, man.
The lawsuit filed in Northern District, California on March the 8th alleges that Mandrel I'm not gonna even pronounce it. I'm just gonna call him Eric Guillermo. That's what we're just gonna go with because I don't know how to pronounce the second portion
what is
of his
this?
last
Did he
name.
work for him or something?
No.
He's just a fan.
He was just a fan in the audience that took his phone out, and
but they do that at every concert. I'm so confused.
He posted the entirety of the whole set
Oh,
online.
okay.
So now Eric has had his YouTube removed.
He posted. If he posted the whole thing on YouTube, that is kind of. You're supposed to just post clips of the concert, not the whole concert, because now other people who haven't been to the show and other artists can watch that and copy everything he do. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah, they're saying that
copyright infringement.
Yeah, the copyright infringement shared high quality videos of 10 songs from Bad Bunny's Most Wanted
He
tour.
starts at 1, right?
Recording during a show in Salt Lake City, Utah. Bad Bunny, whose real name is Benito Antonio Martinez.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to pronounce the last part. I'm just going to leave it at Martinez. Claims that the unauthorized videos violate his rights to his live performances and accuses Guillermo of profiting from his name and music.
Yeah, because that probably went viral
through ad
especially
revenue.
If he was asking people to pay to see it too.
This was just through ad revenue. So
through
the
plays.
Through the plays.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Despite Bunny's initial takedown claim under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, Guillermo filed a counterclaim leading YouTube to restore the videos.
What?
Consequently, Bad Bunny seeks an injunction against Guillermo from sharing any more content and demands either $150,000 per video or the profits generated from the ad revenues on YouTube. And as of Monday,
he must have millions of plays off this video. He must have went mega viral. And they like, dude, you done made all type money off me being in the concert and my work. And you ain't doing nothing but recording it and throwing it on YouTube.
I want my money.
Yeah, man, you can't do that. You could post a little clip of them singing, but you're not supposed to do the whole set.
And that's what they were saying. They were saying that, it would have been okay if, he was doing it for a news reason or if it has something to do with
a documentary
or something like that.
But then in those situations, you're only
going to use bits and pieces.
But you're going to ask them.
And you're going to get permission to use the footage.
And definitely. And so that's crazy.
Again, as of Monday now, Guillermo's YouTube page is inaccessible on the platform.
Yeah, because YouTube, they feel as though they don't want to be responsible for this. So they're gonna take you out because they don't want to be sued. Because the next thing Bad Bunny would do is sue
the
YouTube
platform
because you're letting these people make money off of my work. So
and my content.
Yeah. So I understand it, man. Well, let's go ahead and get up out of here, man. We got my bad. Let's run the game. We should
try to make it quick.
Let's get ready to play trivia for Loot. Sponsored by
I'm gonna try because I don't like losing.
I will plead the fifth before I make a fool of myself.
I know, right? Like I don't really know. So,
all right, y'all. So we got a game of trivia. It's called Trivia for Loot. And we got a total of 10 questions.
Right on.
Right? If you get 7 out of 10 correct, you will get a t-shirt. It will be a Habari Entertainment t-shirt, podcast t-shirt, whichever one you would like to do. I lost. All right. We ready over there, Jimmy?
I live under a rock, so I'm scared.
All right, y'all. The first question is, who directed the critically acclaimed film Moonlight, which came out in 2016, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2017?
I ain't even heard of the movie, so I'm going to plead the
Skip.
fifth. Yeah.
Skip.
Next. Exactly. Barry Jenkins.
Hi, Barry. Oh yeah, I don't know any films. I don't watch movies.
Oh, I know this one.
Who directed the 2019 film Us, which is a psychological horror thriller that explores duality and identity, starring Lupita Nyong'o.
Ding, ding, ding. Jordan Peele.
I thought it was Jordan Peele, but
It is Jordan Peele.
Okay, that's
Yes. Hey. Oh, man.
In the movie Do the Right Thing, what character does Spike Lee himself portray?
Skip.
I don't know, but Radio Raheem gets killed. So that should count as a possible.
So give me a point.
What does it start with?
Yeah. And it's a nickname.
Mikey Mike. No, I
Right?
don't know.
Munchkin? I don't know.
That's gonna be.
Let's see. What is it?
Mookie.
Mookie. Yeah,
If I kept on
Mookie.
guessing, I
It
probably
was-
would have got that.
Was that the girl? Who was his girlfriend?
I can't.
Because I could hear her saying Mookie. Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I that was the thing that it took me back to too, but I couldn't place it for you.
Okay.
Who directed the historical drama film 12 Years a Slave in 2013, which won the Academy Award picture in 2014?
I could see it in my head, but I wasn't watching this movie, so
I know him because he has beef with Monique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, what is his name? That's it. Lee Daniels.
Mm-mm.
No? Well, then I'm wrong.
It is Steve McQueen.
No. That was not who I was thinking. Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
What was the title of the 2016 film based on the play of the same name by August Wilson, which starred Denzel Washington and Viola Davis?
I should have just sat over there.
Right?
Because I don't know none of this stuff. I don't
Yeah,
watch
he
movies
was
at
a
all.
trash man. And yeah, he treated her crazy. Fences?
Yes,
Fences.
ma'am.
Oh, was?
That is, girl. Come on, get your.
Let's go. I want that t-shirt. I'm competitive.
Who directed the 2018 superhero film Black Panther?
Did Chadwick was, he wasn't a producer, he's just an actor.
I don't know. Was it a black director? Somebody black.
I was
I'm hoping
hoping
for
so.
Anybody black.
Right? Did somebody black count?
I think we should get it if we.
His name is Ryan Coogler.
Oh, I
That
remember
doesn't
that.
sound.
I remember his name.
Yeah. I think the womp womp just kind of dig it a little deeper. Like,
Yeah,
you got it wrong, but I'm going to let you know you got it wrong.
Who directed the historical drama film Selma, which chronicles the 1965 voting rights marches from Selma to Montgomery?
Right? We don't know that one. Collectively, we're out of this one.
Now, collectively, we should have known this one because it's Ava DuVernay.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah, we know Ava.
Yeah, we should have
know
known
Ava.
that.
We
We should have known
shoulda.
that.
I don't watch movies.
Yeah, when you were talking about people who don't know Black history, I was like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know movies.
I know the key points.
Which 1989 film
I know
starring
this one.
Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy explores the racial tensions and friendships
Oh, I
between
know
an
this
elderly
movie.
white woman and her African-American chauffeur?
I was gonna say Lean on Me, but I know that ain't right. I know the movie you're talking about, but I don't remember it. I was born in 1989.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Driving Miss
Miss
Daisy.
Daisy.
No,
Driving
don't
Miss
take my
Daisy.
win. I'm trying to get my t-shirt.
I didn't know that.
What is the name of the 2014 musical drama film that allows the journey of a young African-American man from childhood to adulthood, grappling with his sexuality and identity?
Is it Rent?
No.
I don't know.
What is a 2004 musical drama film? I have no idea.
Musical
It's a movie.
drama.
It's a musical drama.
African American
Oh,
man
Rent
from
is an
childhood to adulthood. Is it a TV show? It's a film.
Musical.
I have no idea.
All right, we only that.
Blackbird. Yeah,
Blackbird.
I've never heard of it.
All right, last and final question. Which iconic actor played the lead role in the 1971 blaxploitation film Shaft?
Is that Samuel L. Jackson?
Roundtree. Richard Roundtree?
Richard Roundtree. There you go.
I know more than I think I do.
I know one single one.
I know one. Yes. Well,
She
I
gets-
did
I
not
think
get
she gets her shirt.
7.
I think she
I
gets her
should get an
shirt.
A for effort.
We'll give y'all A for effort.
Yeah. You know, I knew more than I
had
knew, so I take that win.
I know 0. I knew 0.
But you
But
showed
hey,
up.
We learned something today, though, right?
This is true.
Good.
That we did.
Never.
All right,
lost.
y'all. We thank you guys for coming in,
Thank you.
Thank you
being
for having us.
participants, coming on the show and sharing you guys' knowledge with us.
Yes.
It was fun.
It was definitely fun.
If I can say April 13th, I have a sister circle. Check out my website, LoneeLifestyle.com.
Mhm.
Starting to do the work to bring the women in all races, but, you know, bringing the community together. So many of us say that we want sisterhood, we want that community, but we don't put the effort for it. So restructuring the mindset and getting into a space that we could really start building that which we desire.
Yeah,
Definitely.
For sure.
And how can people find you, Miss Petra?
I am at Petra Sherwin-Fox, PetraSherB like boy, INFOX on Instagram, and the Haus of Soul, Haus HAUS of Soul _.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies. We
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. And we hope you guys
Yes,
that's
thank
all
you.
watching. We'll see you guys next week.
All right,
Awesome.
Holla, holla.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news,